Chapter 1206. Mother. Can you not talk about me like that? Zhao Ping said, feeling wronged. It wasn't as if she didn't want to do the chores at home. But after she did it, she accidentally did something wrong, and she was scolded like that. If she knew that she shouldn't have done the chores, she would be scolded anyway. Oh, you can't even talk about it? Do you think you're the daughter of a wealthy family? Which mother-in-law doesn't miss their daughter-in-law? As Mu Chunfang spoke, she walked in front of Zhao Ping, and poked Zhao Ping's forehead with her finger. Zhao Ping felt a wave of pain. She gritted her teeth and cursed Mu Chunfang in her heart. But on the surface, she still agreed. What else could she do? Mu Chunfang was her mother-in-law after all. Mother. What do we do now? Will our chickens come back to lay eggs? Zhao Ping asked. Mu Chunfang glared at Zhao Ping. You still have the cheek to ask. Hurry up and get a small bowl of rice and call the chickens and ducks back to eat. Zhao Ping replied weakly, Oh. Mother, I got it. After Zhao Ping finished speaking, she followed Mu Chunfang's instructions and got a bowl of rice. She called out to the chickens and ducks, imitating how young Jinxiao usually called out to the chickens. When Zhao Ping called out to them, the chickens and ducks outside ran over eagerly and started to eat chicken feed. Zhao Ping saw that the chickens and ducks had returned and heaved a sigh of relief. But she was still worried. These chickens and ducks were so good at pooping that they would definitely get dirty again. After Mu Chunfang took a look and confirmed that the chickens and ducks were fine, she returned to the kitchen and continued to work. Ping, after you're done with the chickens, hurry up and come to the kitchen to work with me. Zhao Ping nodded and replied, Mother, I know. Just as Zhao Ping was about to enter the kitchen, she saw a beautiful figure walking towards their house. Zhao Ping felt that this figure was somewhat familiar. She took a closer look and saw clearly. Weren't these people Zhao Xinhui? Zhao Ping furrowed her brows. Her aunt was here, why did he come to her house? In any case, it was definitely nothing good. Thinking of Qin Yuan's affection for Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping felt jealous. No way. Anyway, she couldn't let her aunt seduce Qin Yuan again. Thus, before Zhao Xinhui reached the family Qin's courtyard, Zhao Ping rushed over angrily. She rushed in front of Zhao Xinhui and asked Zhao Xinhui, Aunt, why did you come over for no reason? Did you come to my house to seduce my big brother Yuan? Hurry up and leave, hurry up and leave. Zhao Xinhui looked at Zhao Ping, as if she was looking at an idiot. After frowning in disgust, she said to Zhao Ping, why? Could it be that I can't come? It's none of your business. I'm not here to look for you. Zhao Xinhui was a little arrogant in front of Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping was even angrier. You. Zhao Ping pointed at Zhao Xinhui. What are you talking about? Ping, lass, I'm your aunt and your elder. What are you trying to do by pointing at me like this? You really don't know any rules. Zhao Xinhui snorted softly and continued walking towards the family Qin's courtyard. Zhao Ping was not willing to let Zhao Xinhui go. If Qin Yuan saw this, they might even get involved with Zhao Xinhui again. Chapter 1207. Not allowed to go? Why can't I go? It's not your home. Seriously. Zhao Xinhui snorted and nudged Zhao Ping. I married over, so this is my home. If I don't allow you to go, then you can't go. Zhao Ping said righteously. As she spoke, she stood in front of Zhao Xinhui and blocked Zhao Xinhui, not allowing Zhao Xinhui to leave. Are you crazy? Who do you think you are? Zhao Xinhui frowned and said to Zhao Ping, Auntie, who are you scolding? You're saying that I'm crazy, but I'm saying that you're shameless. You're just a shameless girl who came to my in-laws' house. Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. You only know how to seduce my big brother Yuan. Zhao Xinhui sneered and stared at Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping, if you treasure Qin Yuan, then so be it. Don't think that everyone is like you. If I want to be with Qin Yuan, do I need to seduce him? Won't he just throw himself at me? What Zhao Xinhui said was the truth, and Zhao Ping naturally understood it very well in her heart. However, she could not accept such a fact. When she thought of how reluctant Qin Yuan was to leave Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping felt a wave of jealousy in her heart. When she met Zhao Xinhui's slightly smug eyes, Zhao Ping angrily waved her claws and swung them at Zhao Xinhui's face. It was because of Zhao Xinhui's face that Qin Yuan would miss her. If he did not have this face, Qin Yuan naturally would not think about it. When Zhao Xinhui saw that Zhao Ping had gone crazy, she quickly dodged and said angrily to Zhao Ping, Zhao Ping, are you crazy? What are you doing? You shameless B***tch. Look at how I've scratched your face. How are you going to seduce my big brother Yuan? Zhao Ping shouted. Zhao Xinhui hurriedly ran to the family Qin's courtyard. Zhao Xinhui's voice wasn't low. Hearing Zhao Xinhui's voice, Qin Yuan, who was in the room, thought that he was hallucinating. However, after listening carefully, he found that it was still Zhao Xinhui's voice. Did Zhao Xinhui really come to his house? Could it be that they were looking for him? Had she suddenly thought it through and decided not to marry that young Master Meng? Was she here to tell him about it? This meant that he had a place in Zhao Xinhui's heart. She cared about him. Otherwise, she wouldn't have come to look for him. If that was the case, the Qin Yuan would not blame Zhao Xinhui. As long as Zhao Xinhui changed her mind, he would definitely be willing to be with her when he had the ability. Qin Yuan climbed down from the bed agitatedly. He didn't look as weak as he did before. Now that Zhao Xinhui was here, he seemed to be abnormally energetic. Qin Yuan hurriedly came out of the room to see if it was really Zhang Xinhui. When he came out and saw her, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. It really was her. Zhao Ping was wearing a beautiful dress today. She was even prettier than before. Compared to that ugly Zhao Ping, she was like heaven and earth. Qin Yuan's gaze was instantly attracted to Zhao Xinhui. At this moment, Zhao Ping rushed over and looked like she was about to hit Zhao Xinhui. Qin Yuan's brows were instantly filled with anger. What was this Zhao Ping doing? How dare she hit Zhao Xinhui? She was too much. Chapter 1208. Zhao Ping, what are you doing? Qin Yuan berated her fiercely. Zhao Ping was originally in the midst of chasing after him, but Qin Yuan's sudden appearance stunned her. Big brother Yuan. Zhao Ping saw that Qin Yuan was angry. She looked at Qin Yuan nervously, afraid that Qin Yuan would scold her. Zhao Ping, you vicious woman. You really beat up anyone you catch. You even treat your aunt like this. At the very least, your aunt is your elder. Qin Yuan reprimanded her angrily. Then, he looked at Zhao Xinhui with concern and asked Zhao Xinhui, Aunt, how are you? Are you hurt? Seeing Qin Yuan's reprimand and concern for Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping felt a strong sense of jealousy rising in her heart. Her aunt, this B***tch, as long as she appeared, Qin Yuan's gaze would always be on her. Big brother Yuan. It's all because my aunt came over. She wanted to seduce you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made a move. Big brother Yuan, you mustn't be charmed by her. You know what kind of woman she is. Zhao Ping shouted in front of Qin Yuan, afraid that Qin Yuan's soul would be seduced by Zhao Xinhui again. Zhao Ping, what nonsense are you spouting? If you dare to spout nonsense again, do you believe that I won't tear your mouth apart? Qin Yuan said angrily. Seeing how Qin Yuan was so protective of Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping knew that it was useless no matter how much she said. She might as well shut up now to prevent Qin Yuan from getting angry. Big brother Yuan, hurry up and leave. Don't hang around in front of me. I feel annoyed just looking at you, Qin Yuan complained. When he saw Zhao Ping, it was as if he had seen something filthy. The good impression that he had built up with Zhao Ping, with great difficulty was completely wiped out by Zhao Xinhui's arrival. Zhao Ping pouted, feeling wronged. Oh, Zhao Ping, reluctantly walked to the kitchen. She was worried about the situation in Qin Yuan. After Qin Yuan finished scolding Zhao Ping, he turned to Zhao Xinhui with a gentle look on his face. Auntie, why did you come to our house today? Are you here for me? Qin Yuan asked excitedly. Zhao Xinhui nodded. Yes, I'm here for you. Hearing Zhao Xinhui's words, Qin Yuan became even more excited. Is that so, Auntie? Qin Yuan rubbed his hands together. His originally pale face became much rosier. Yes. Zhao Xinhui nodded. Qin Yuan smiled shyly and asked, Auntie, what did you come here for? Actually, it's nothing much. I just need your help. Zhao Xinhui said calmly. What is it, Auntie? Tell me. If I can help, I'll definitely help. Qin Yuan said excitedly. Actually, it's nothing much. I just need you to ask Zhao Ping, if she can lend me her wedding dress. That girl is very stingy. I went to ask her to lend it to me, but she refused. So, I can only come to you. If you ask her, she'll probably agree to it. Zhao Xinhui knew very well that it was better to come to Qin Yuan than to beg Zhao Ping, humbly. After all, even if he begged Zhao Ping, Zhao Ping would still refuse. However, it was easy to talk to Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping, was very afraid of Qin Yuan. As long as Qin Yuan agreed, what could Zhao Ping, say? Chapter 1209. It turned out that Zhao Xinhui had come to him not because she didn't want to get married anymore and wanted to be with him, but because she wanted to borrow Zhao Ping's wedding gown. Hence, it was still impossible for him and Zhao Xinhui to be together. He suddenly felt a sense of emptiness in his heart. It was very uncomfortable. However, in front of Zhao Xinhui, Qin Yuan couldn't get angry at all. He was afraid that he would make Zhao Xinhui unhappy. At the end of the day, he still wanted to be with Zhao Xinhui. If he went overboard at this time, Zhao Xinhui would give up on him. Then, it would be even more impossible for him to be with Zhao Xinhui in the future. Seeing that Qin Yuan didn't say anything, Zhao Xinhui thought that Qin Yuan was unhappy, so she acted coquettishly and begged, Can you please let me borrow Ping's wedding gown? I just want to be a little more glamorous when I get married. I can't let people look down on me, right? Qin Yuan, if you like me and want my best interests, you definitely can't bear to see me get married in such a shabby manner. After Zhao Xinhui finished speaking, Qin Yuan was too embarrassed to say anything, so he stammered, Well, Qin Yuan, can you do it or not? Just say something. Don't dawdle like this, okay? Zhao Xinhui said impatiently. She thought to herself that Qin Yuan was really too stingy. He was a grown man, but he couldn't even lend her a wedding gown. Qin Yuan was afraid that Zhao Xinhui would really get angry, so he frowned and replied, Auntie, it's not that I don't want to lend it to you, but this wedding gown belongs to Zhao Ping, She has to agree to it herself, right? Zhao Xinhui rolled her eyes at Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping is already married to you. Don't tell me you can't even order her around? Then what's the use of a grown man like you? After being scolded by Zhao Xinhui, Qin Yuan lowered his head, looking a little embarrassed. I don't, you. Can't you just say something? If you can't, then I'm leaving. I don't have time to waste with you. Zhao Xinhui said angrily. Qin Yuan hurriedly pulled Zhao Xinhui back. Auntie, don't leave. I didn't say no. Let me talk to Zhao Ping, But can you promise me on one condition? Zhao Xinhui frowned when she saw that Qin Yuan was trying to negotiate with her. She replied, Conditions? What condition? You just say it first. Auntie, it's nothing. It's just. Can you give me a kiss? Just a small kisses, you know that I like you, but. As Qin Yuan spoke, he lowered his eyes, looking a little disappointed. When Zhao Xinhui heard Qin Yuan's condition, she rolled her eyes. She felt that it wasn't a difficult thing, so she agreed without hesitation. Sure, a kiss, it's not a big deal. With that, Zhao Ping hurriedly kissed Qin Yuan on the cheek. With a smack, Qin Yuan's heart was stirred by Zhao Ping's kiss. Zhao Ping was in the kitchen. She couldn't help but poke her head out to take a look. When she saw this scene, she almost exploded in anger. Ah, this is too much. B*tch, B*tch. How shameless. She seduced my man in broad daylight and even kissed him shamelessly. Zhao Ping muttered under her breath. If Qin Yuan hadn't been standing by the side, Zhao Ping would have rushed up to Zhao Xinhui and ripped Zhao Xinhui's mouth apart. Chapter 12:10. Zhao Ping didn't get angry. After a while, she heard Qin Yuan yelling at the top of his lungs. Zhao Ping, come out. Zhao Ping walked over to Qin Yuan with a face full of resentment. Following Qin Yuan, she asked, Big brother Yuan, why did you call me out? Qin Yuan instructed indifferently, take out your wedding dress and lend it to your aunt for a day. After Zhao Ping heard Qin Yuan's words, she was so angry that her lungs almost exploded. She thought that Qin Yuan would say something. She didn't expect him to ask her to lend her wedding dress to Zhao Xinhui. She knew that Zhao Xinhui definitely didn't come over for good. Now, it seemed like she had bragged in front of Qin Yuan and directly asked Qin Yuan to lend her wedding dress to Zhao Xinhui. Her aunt was really too much. What right did she have to treat her like this? Big brother Yuan. This is my wedding dress. I don't want to lend it to my aunt. Zhao Ping pouted. You don't want to lend it? Qin Yuan's brows instantly furrowed, and he looked very unhappy. Zhao Ping nodded resolutely. Yes, I won't lend it to you. I won't lend it to anyone but my aunt. In any case, she couldn't let her aunt get away with it. She just couldn't let this B*tch have her way. Qin Yuan, that last Ping, said she doesn't want to lend it to you. Look, she doesn't even listen to a man like you. She doesn't give a damn about you at all. Qin Yuan's heartbreak would spread like wildfire. When Qin Yuan heard this, his face instantly darkened. He said coldly to Zhao Ping, if you don't lend it to me today, see how I'll deal with you. Big brother Yuan. Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan with an aggrieved expression. Why did she have to lend her things to her aunt? Don't you understand what I'm saying? Hurry up and bring me your wedding dress. Qin Yuan said as he pushed Zhao Ping hard. Zhao Ping lost her balance and fell. Her butt hit a stone on the ground and she cried out in pain. However, Qin Yuan didn't feel sorry for her at all. Instead, he continued to order Zhao Ping around. Why are you still lying on the ground? Why don't you go now? Zhao Ping met Qin Yuan's angry eyes and didn't dare to make a sound. Big brother Yuan. I'll go get it now. As he spoke, he struggled to get up from the ground and limped towards his room. After a while, he took out his wedding dress and handed it to the Qin Yuan. Big brother Yuan. Here, Zhao Ping said weakly. At this moment, her heart was bleeding. Her big brother Yuan was too much. She was his wife now. How could he side with another woman and not consider her feelings at all? Qin Yuan took the wedding dress from Zhao Ping's hands and handed it to Zhao Xinhui. Aunt, here. This is the wedding dress. Take it. Zhao Xinhui took it happily. At the same time, she smirked at Zhao Ping. She said sarcastically, Ping, didn't you say that you wouldn't lend it to me? Look, you're still lending it to me now? Since you're going to lend it to me sooner or later, why make me go through the trouble of making an extra trip? You. Zhao Ping glared at Zhao Xinhui and bit her lower lip. Seeing Zhao Xinhui's smug look, she became even angrier. B*TCH. She'd better wait and see. Chapter 12:11. Zhao Xinhui completely ignored the look in Zhao Ping's eyes. After getting the wedding gown she wanted, she didn't want to waste any more time in the family Qin. Instead, she bid farewell to Qin Yuan. Since little Ping has lent me the gown, I'll leave first. Qin Yuan felt that she had only stayed with Zhao Xinhui for a few minutes. She didn't expect Zhao Xinhui to leave so soon. She was very reluctant to part with her and hurriedly said to Zhao Xinhui, "Little aunt, aren't you tired after such a long journey? Why don't you take a rest at my house and go back after dinner? I'll ask my mother to cook more delicious food for you." Zhao Xinhui asked softly in her heart. The family Qin was so poor. It would be strange if they had delicious food. Why don't I go back by myself? When I go back, I can ask my mother to cook delicious food for me. Because of the generous betrothal gifts sent by young Master Meng, Zhao Xinhui ate meat for every meal at home these days. Her life was so good that she didn't have to stay at the family Qin. Therefore, Zhao Xinhui waved her hand at Qin Yuan and said, "It's okay. I'll go back. I'm not tired. I rented an ox cart to come here. They're still waiting for me. I'll take the ox cart back later." The disappointment on Qin Yuan's face deepened. "Little aunt. Are you really not going to stay for dinner?" Qin Yuan knew that after Zhao Xinhui went back this time, she didn't know when she would be able to see Zhao Xinhui again. She was reluctant to part with her. She only hoped that she could stay with Zhao Xinhui for a while longer and see Zhao Xinhui a few more times. This way, she would be more reluctant to part with Zhao Xinhui. No. You guys eat. I'll leave first," Zhao Xinhui said. She was too lazy to argue with Qin Yuan and hurriedly ran out of the family Qin's courtyard. Even after Zhao Xinhui's figure disappeared, Qin Yuan still looked reluctant. "Big brother Yuan." Zhao Ping mumbled jealously. "Why are you calling me? Hurry up and get busy in the kitchen," Qin Yuan said to Zhao Ping fiercely. Then, he dragged his weak body into the room. The Shuilan village was very lively. Because Zhao Xinhui held a joyous occasion. Early in the morning, the sound of firecrackers could be heard, crackling non-stop. Young Master Meng's wedding reception could be said to be very grand. Many people were arranged to come. For young Master Meng's wealth, this kind of extravagance was nothing. But for the villagers, they had never seen such luxurious palanquins and horses. He felt that Zhao Xinhui was really lucky to be able to climb up to such a rich family. She directly flew out of the mountain nest and became a phoenix. It really made everyone envious. Many people in the village were discussing. During this period of time, old Zhao's family had joyous occasions year after year. It made people jealous. How long had it been? The two unmarriageable ladies in the family were married off one after another. Although Zhao Ping's family was a little inferior, she had married a normal person. Moreover, Qin Yuan's appearance was pretty. As for Zhao Xinhui, it was needless to say. After marrying a rich man, she could be said to have a good life in the future. She did not need to live such a hard life as a villager. There were even many rumors that old Zhao's family had a good ancestral grave and protected their descendants. Therefore, each of them had a better life than the other. Chapter 12:12. Zhao Yun'er was even better. She had a relationship with the heir of the crown prince, which was better than young Master Meng. Sigh, old Zhao's ancestral grave is emitting smoke. We can't even be envious. Isn't that so? No matter how hard we work, and how good our luck is, it's not as good as their ancestors. Old Zhao's family doesn't have ordinary happy events. They are all very happy events. Let's not talk about the children's marriages. I heard that old Zhao's eldest grandson went directly to the capital to study this year. He will definitely pass the exam and come back as a high-ranking official. TSK, TSK, TSK. Where in the surrounding villages can a high-ranking official come from? Old Zhao's family is amazing. Yes. Yes. It's a pity that we can't think of it. We can't even be envious. We can only ask a feng shui master to come over and take a look at our ancestral grave. Let's see if it can be like old Zhao's family. Happy events are coming one after another. I wouldn't have thought of it if you didn't mention it. I'll also ask a feng shui master to take a look. Ever since my father was buried, my family has been unlucky. Let's see if our ancestral grave can improve our luck. That's for sure. Hurry up. This matter can't be delayed. Yes, yes. I know. I'll ask around tomorrow and find out where I can invite a feng shui master. In the courtyard of old Zhao's house, the people who came to attend the wedding banquet sat together and chattered about it. They talked about the matter in an extremely mysterious way. However, the villagers were superstitious and felt that these rumors were very reasonable. Otherwise, they couldn't think of any reason why old Zhao's family would suddenly have a change of fortune. There were so many happy events in a year. They probably couldn't find a single family in the surrounding villages. In Zhao Xinhui's room, Zhao Xinhui was dressing herself up in front of the mirror. After applying rouge and face powder, wearing jewelry, and wearing Zhao Ping'er's wedding dress, Zhao Xinhui was more gorgeous than usual. She looked delicate and beautiful, like a great beauty. Not to mention the men, even the women in the room couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. This was especially true for the other branches. Seeing Zhao Xinhui like this, they felt very uncomfortable in their hearts. Especially Li Chuiying and Zhao Jing'er. Originally, Zhao Jing'er and young Master Zheng's marriage was settled. She had given young Master Zheng such good conditions, which was considered very good. However, compared to Zhao Xinhui, it seemed insignificant. After all, young Master Meng's family was much better than young Master Zheng's. Zhao Jing'er thought that since her aunt was older than her and couldn't get married at her age, she should marry someone with poor conditions. Who knew that Zhao Xinhui was so lucky? Seeing that Zhao Xinhui was gorgeously dressed, with a golden bracelet on her wrist, a golden hairpin in her hair, and a large round pearl around her neck, the jealousy in her heart grew stronger. Young Master Zheng did not give her such a good thing. Why was it that even her aunt was able to marry better than her? Li Chuiying stood at the side and couldn't help but roll her eyes. Aren't you dressed up to seduce people like a vixen? Zhao Jing'er poked Li Chuiying and nagged in Li Chuiying's ear, "Mother, keep your voice down. Don't let aunt hear you." Li Chuiying didn't care. So what if she hears? What's there to be afraid of? Anyway, I'm telling the truth. I'm not talking nonsense. Chapter 12-13. At the end of the day, she was still very envious of her aunt. At least he didn't marry her aunt so that she could give birth to a child. Of course, it was because young Master Zheng married her so that she could give birth to a child. If she couldn't give birth to a son for young Master Zheng, her fate in the future could be said to be very miserable. Unlike her aunt, it didn't matter whether she could give birth to a child or not. Young Master Zheng still sent all these good things over. Seeing Zhao Xinhui dressed so luxuriously, Zhao Jing'er felt very upset. Seeing what Zhao Jing'er was thinking, Li Chuiying hurriedly comforted Zhao Jing'er. "Jing'er, don't be fooled by how pretty your aunt is. It's useless. She's still a little younger now and can catch young Master Meng's eye. Just you wait. When she's older and her face isn't so pretty anymore, let's see if young Master Zheng will still treasure her then. He'll probably drive her back to our hometown. But Jing'er, you're different. If you can give birth to a child for young Master Meng, it'd be best if you can give birth to a chubby little boy. Then your status in young Master Meng's family will be consolidated in the future. No matter whether you'll grow old and ugly in the future, as long as you have a child, the Meng family will treat you well." After being comforted by Li Chuiying, Zhao Jing'er thought about it and agreed. Young Master Meng was interested in her aunt's face, while young Master Zheng was interested in her giving birth to a child for him so that he could carry on the Zheng family's bloodline. People would grow old and ugly, so giving birth to a child was more secure. Zhao Jing'er's expression softened a little. She nodded at Li Chuiying and said, "Mother, I understand." Li Chuiying chuckled in response. It's good that you understand." After Zhao Xinhui was done with her makeup, she deliberately asked the people in the room. "How is it? Do I look good like this?" Zhao Xinhui grinned and looked at herself in the mirror. She was very satisfied, but she also hoped to get the affirmation of the others in the room. That was how people were. They liked to be praised. Only then would they feel a sense of accomplishment. Hu Chunhua, who was standing at the side, praised Zhao Xinhui to the heavens. "She's beautiful, of course she's beautiful. My daughter is as beautiful as a flower. Those who don't know would think that she's a fairy who has descended to the mortal world. If young Master Meng lifts the red veil at night and sees such a beautiful face, won't he be infatuated?" Zhao Xinhui lowered her head shyly. "Mother, your compliments are too fake. Even if I'm good-looking, it's not like what you said, right?" Hu Chunhua chuckled and said, "That's right. My Hui is so pretty. It's said that clothes make the man, and gold make the Buddha. Hui, you're even prettier than the young miss of a prominent family. Look at these glittering hairpins, bracelets, and earrings. Who wouldn't say that they're beautiful?" While Hu Chunhua was praising her, she also called out to Li Chuiying and Zhao Jing, "Second daughter-in-law, Jing, tell me, isn't Hui, beautiful today?" Chapter 12-14. Although Li Chuiying said so, she did not think so in her heart. If Jing could wear such beautiful clothes, wear so much jewelry, and dress up well, she would definitely look better than Zhao Xinhui. After Li Chuiying finished speaking, Hu Chunhua could not stop smiling. She kept whispering in Zhao Xinhui's ear, "Hui, did you hear that? Your second sister-in-law is praising you. If everyone thinks you look good, then you must look good." The corners of Zhao Xinhui's mouth could not help but curl up. She was very proud of herself. Jing hasn't said anything yet. Jing, what they say is wrong. Tell me, do I look good like this? Zhao Xinhui trusted the judgment of people her age. Her second sister-in-law and her mother were at her age. How could they know whether she was beautiful or not? Zhao Jing, glanced at Zhao Xinhui. The corners of her mouth could not help but twitch. Her expression was very ugly. In her opinion, Zhao Xinhui was showing off in front of her. She was already very jealous. When Zhao Xinhui deliberately said that, her heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. Jing, tell me quickly. Why are you in a daze? Zhao Xinhui urged. Zhao Jing, pursed her lips. Auntie, what are you talking about? Of course I look good. I look very good. Zhao Xinhui sighed. Well, in that case, I'm relieved. Hu Chunhua beckoned Zhao Xinhui and said, Come, Hui, when you're done, quickly cover your head with the red veil. The people who are going to pick you up will be here soon. Zhao Xinhui nodded in response. Okay, mother, I know. With that, she covered her head with the red veil. When Zhao Xinhui was done and waiting in the room, Hu Chunhua saw that Li Chuiying was still in the room. She said to Li Chuiying unhappily, Second daughter-in-law, what are you doing in the room? Your sister-in-law is busy outside. Why don't you hurry over and help? Li Chuiying had deliberately stayed in Zhao Xinhui's house to slack off. There were so many things going on outside. It was not her Jing's wedding, so why did she have to worry so much? Mother. I can't bear to part with little sister. If his little sister got married, he didn't know how long it would be before he could see his little sister again, so he couldn't bear to part with her. Right now, I just want to take a few more glances at my little sister so that I won't miss her in the future. Li Chuiying said hypocritically. After saying this, even she herself felt that it was very fake. Hua Chunhua snorted coldly. Naturally, she had guessed Li Chuiying's thoughts. Enough, don't talk about this. Who doesn't know that you're slacking off? Hurry up and help out. You're still wasting time in the room. You're busy now. When Hui Er's parents pick her up, we'll have to start the banquet. Li Chuiying reluctantly dawdled for a while before slowly walking outside. Okay. Mother, I'll go now, Hua Chunhua pointed at Zhao Jing'er and said, Jing-er, don't slack off. Hurry up and help out. This is your aunt's wedding. Everyone is hungry. Hurry up and help out. Zhao Jing'er was unwilling, but she did not dare to say anything to Hua Chunhua. She could only nod and say, okay. Grandmother, I know. With that, she did the same thing as Li Chuiying. Out of the room. In the courtyard of old Zhao's house, several women were busy. Chapter 12:15. If there was no one to help, the chef would not be able to handle everything by himself. Because there were many women in old Zhao's family, they did not invite others to help like Zhao Yun's family did. Hua Chunhua was reluctant to give away the leftover dishes at the banquet after inviting others. She felt that it was better to keep them for herself. Moreover, Zhao Yun's family invited others because they were really too busy. They could handle it, so there was no need for them to be so wasteful. In addition to Feng Zhangxia, there was another person who did more work. It was the fourth branch's daughter-in-law, Qian Zhonghu. Li Chuiying was the laziest one. Seeing Li Chuiying come over, Feng Zhangxia hurriedly greeted her, sister-in-law, why are you so late? Hurry up and wash the dishes. We still need to use them to fill the dishes later. Li Chuiying saw that she was asked to wash the dishes and said unwillingly, why should I? Why should I do the dirtiest and most tiring work? Feng Zhangxia looked at Li Chuiying speechlessly and said, sister-in-law, you didn't help us just now. What's wrong with asking you to do more work now? You. Li Chuiying wanted to refute but found that she could not find any reason. Sister-in-law, hurry up and wash the dishes. Otherwise, when mother comes out and sees that we haven't washed the dishes, she will nag again. I know. I'll wash them. Li Chuiying angrily squatted in front of the wooden basin with the dishes and began to wash them. Feng Zhangxia saw Zhao Jing'er and called her over, Jing'er, come here. Come and help. There's still a lot of work to do. Seeing Feng Zhangxia calling Zhao Jing'er to do work, Li Chuiying was unhappy and said to Feng Zhangxia, sister-in-law, it's fine if I do work. Why do you ask my Jing'er to do work too? Let her rest somewhere else. Li Chuiying felt sorry for his daughter. She was already upset today, and now she still had to work. Second sister-in-law, isn't it because we don't have enough manpower? Since Jing happens to be free, what's wrong with helping? Feng Zhangxia said indifferently. Li Chuiying's brows knitted together. She felt that Feng Zhangxia was twisting words and forcing logic. She happened to catch a glimpse of Shen Panner, who was sitting motionlessly to the side. She said to Li Chuiying, sister-in-law, you told my Jing'er not to help, but look at your daughter-in-law. Why isn't she helping? What right do you have to order my Jing'er around? Feng Zhangxia knew that Li Chuiying was complaining about her preferential treatment. She pursed her lips and said to Li Chuiying, my Panner has to take care of Yang. Your Jing doesn't have to take care of the child. Li Chuiying rolled his eyes at Feng Zhangxia. Sister-in-law, you've been saying this for more than 3 years. Because of this, Panner has never done any housework since she married into our old Zhao's family. Now that Yang is all grown up, why can't she leave? Can't she just put the child aside and watch him? Must she hold him in her arms? He's not a baby who can't walk. Li Chuiying's words made Feng Zhangxia very uncomfortable in her heart. My Panner is different. She comes from a well-off family. Marrying into our old Zhao's family is not good for her. How can we let her do housework? Chapter 12:16. You. Feng Zhangxia looked at Li Chuiying angrily. Although she knew that Li Chuiying was telling the truth, she didn't want to hear it. Eldest sister-in-law, don't treasure your eldest daughter-in-law. She should help when she needs help. She can't cut and cook, but she can at least help me wash the dishes, right? Feng Zhangxia's eyes darkened. She didn't want to say anything at first, but at this time, Wu Chunhua walked out and said to Feng Zhangxia, eldest daughter-in-law, I think second daughter-in-law is right. Pan are actually married into our hometown, so she has to do some housework. Let her do it quickly. It's so busy today and everyone is busy. Why can't she rest alone? Since Wu Chunhua had spoken, Feng Zhangxia couldn't say anything else. She could only shout at Shen Pan, Pan, a girl. Shen Pan heard Feng Zhangxia's shout and what Li Chuiying said just now. She knew that Feng Zhangxia was calling her to do some work, so she had no choice but to bite the bullet and go over. Mother. Shen Pan called out. Feng Zhangxia looked at Shen Pan, apologetically. Pan, girl, hurry up and help your second aunt wash the dishes. Shen Pan knew that she couldn't escape, so she sighed in her heart and nodded in response. Mother, I understand. I'll go now. Okay. Shen Pan walked to Li Chuiying's side and squatted down to wash the dishes. She treated Li Chuiying coldly. If it weren't for Li Chuiying, she wouldn't have come over to do housework. Shen Pan was most afraid of washing dishes because her hands were very fragile. If they were soaked in water for too long, they would easily peel and break, causing pain. A pair of originally white and tender hands would become very ugly. Shen Pan suppressed the disgust in her heart and washed the dishes. However, some thoughts appeared in her mind. She couldn't stand the people in old Zhao's family. They were all very strange. If she had to stay with them for the rest of her life, she would probably break down. It was already very difficult to endure for 3 years. If she continued to endure, she would probably break down. Actually, there was no need for them to stay together. They could wait for the future and split up. After all, the people in the third branch had already split up, so the people in the first branch could naturally split too. If they split up, the whole family wouldn't have to eat together. If the first branch started cooking, Shen Pan would be able to use her own money to supplement their meals. After all, they wouldn't have to eat too much food and the expenses. She didn't take out any money now because there were too many people in the Zhao family. Moreover, she felt that there was no need to subsidize these weirdos. If she had the money, she might as well secretly buy some snacks to eat. After all, the first branch had to live with the others and the otherses. After all, the first didn't have to lead the others and lead and the other them. Ants. The more Shen Pan thought about it, the stronger her desire to separate from the family grew. No, after today's work, she had to talk to Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi and discuss the matter of splitting up. Old Zhao's kitchen was buzzing with activity. The sound of chopping could be heard constantly. Compared to the busy old Zhao's family, Zhao Yun's family was much more leisurely. Chapter 12:17. At noon, Zhao Yun's family prepared lunch and called out to the workers to eat, while Zhao Wenhua ate at old Zhao's banquet table. After all, the third branch had sent money as a gift. Zhao Yun went to the mountains to pick tea leaves during the day. When she went to the third branch, Zhao Ping happened to come over. Zhao Ping came over for no other reason than to borrow money from Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua. Secondly, to help Ma Xiaofeng plot against his younger brother, Zhao Tianan. Not long after Zhao Ping arrived, the wedding procession sent by young Master Meng arrived. However, because Zhao Xinhui was only going to be a concubine, young Master Meng did not come personally and only sent a wedding procession. The wedding procession was not shabby for Zhao Xinhui. There were many people, horses, and luxurious sedan chairs. It was much better than the day of Zhao Ping's wedding. The villagers rarely saw horses. When they saw that there were horses in the wedding procession, they curiously came forward to watch. They looked and talked about it. As for the wedding procession's sedan chair, it was carried by 8 people. It was decorated with red cloth, and it was big and imposing. There were 4 golden bells hanging from the 4 corners of the sedan chair. When the procession walked, the bells rang from time to time, making crisp and pleasant sounds. The villagers had never seen such a scene, so they naturally sighed. Zhao Ping saw such a scene and felt sour in her heart. Not to mention the horses, Zhao Ping was most concerned about the wedding procession sedan chair. The large and luxurious sedan chair really stung Zhao Ping's eyes. Zhao Ping thought back to when she was a monk. Not only was the shelf rented by her family Qin broken, but it also fell apart. There was no way for people to sit on it. With such a comparison, how could Zhao Ping feel at ease? She bit her lower lip and wondered why that B*tch Zhao Xinhui was so lucky. Hua Chunhua shouted at the top of her lungs when she saw the bridal procession approaching. Hui, the bridal procession is here. Hurry and get ready. Zhao Xinhui heard Hua Chunhua's voice and stood up from the bed. Not long after, under everyone's gaze, a woman wearing a red wedding dress walked out. The jewels on his body were very dazzling. The men and women in the village were all stunned. They had never seen anyone get married in such a glamorous way. Ah, don't say that. This old Zhao's daughter is so beautiful that I can't take my eyes off her. Look at her figure. How many women can be like this? That's right, those curves are really seductive. Tisk tsk, that's right. Why didn't I know before? If I had known, I would also have received a marriage proposal from the old Zhao's family. Who knows, you might have been able to marry such a beauty. All right, don't say any more. If your wife heard this, she would break your legs. Huh, you're so afraid of your wife that you dare to have such thoughts. Be careful, we'll complain later. Don't. I'm just saying. But this Zhao Xinhui is really a stunner. Old Zhao's family really hid it well. Stop looking. She's lucky to be able to marry into a rich family. You can't imagine it. Under everyone's envious gazes, Zhao Xinhui sat on the bridal sedan chair. Hearing the discussions around her, Zhao Xinhui couldn't help but curl the corners of her lips. Chapter 12:18. The corners of her mouth curled up involuntarily. This display of extravagance really made her proud. Thinking of everyone's envy of her, Zhao Xinhui felt a burst of pride. Who said that young Master Meng's looks were lacking? She would be satisfied as long as she could live a good life with young Master Meng in the future. Zhao Xinhui sat in the sedan chair. With a shout from the matchmaker, the sedan chair started moving. In old Zhao's courtyard, Hua Chunhua saw this scene and couldn't help but wipe the tears from the corners of her eyes. Seeing that Zhao Xinhui was getting married, Hua Chunhua was both happy and sad. After all, a married daughter was like spilled water. It would be very difficult for her to see her again in the future. She didn't know when Zhao Xinhui would be able to come back. If she married into an ordinary family, she could come back often. However, there should be many rules in young Master Meng's residence. After all, young Master Meng came from a wealthy family and was different from them country bumpkins. Even Zhao Baoshan, who was at the side, had tears in his eyes. Seeing that the bridal sedan chair had started moving, Hua Chunhua directly cried and wailed, "My Hui, Mother's flesh and blood, mother can't bear to part with you." After saying that, she began to wail again, crying very sadly. Zhao Baoshan glanced at Hua Chunhua. Seeing that Hua Chunhua wasn't crying as if she was marrying off a daughter, but as if she was crying at a funeral, he said to Hua Chunhua with a cold face, crying, what are you crying for? His daughter's marriage was a joyous occasion. Look at how you're crying. Aren't you afraid of bad luck? Hua Chunhua wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. Old man, I can't bear to part with Hui, I raised a daughter for so long, and now she's suddenly getting married. I feel sad. Zhao Baoshan rolled his eyes at Hu Chunhua. Then are you hoping that she won't get married? So that she can stay at home all day with you? Hu Chunhua wiped her tears and shook her head. That's not it either. Hui will definitely get married. Isn't that enough? Let's see what you're going to cry for. Alright, don't cry. Hurry up and get busy. The banquet is about to begin. Hu Chunhua sobbed and glanced in the direction where Zhao Xinhui had left. She sighed and went back to work. At this time, the people who came to attend the banquet were all in the courtyard, waiting for the banquet to begin. Hu Chunhua wiped her tears and went to the kitchen. The chef in the kitchen called out, "Chef Zhou, can we start the banquet now?" Chef Zhou wiped his apron and said to Hu Chunhua, No, we have to wait for a while." "Why do we have to wait for a while? Why haven't you finished your work yet? Back then, my third branch was even faster than you." Hu Chunhua grumbled in dissatisfaction. When Chef Zhou heard Hu Chunhua's words, he replied with some displeasure, "It's not that I didn't work well. These assistants are all slower than the previous one. They haven't even prepared the things that should be prepared. What can I do? Are you trying to put the blame on me?" Hu Chunhua felt that Chef Zhou should not treat her like this since she had spent money to invite him back. She said angrily, "I spent money to invite you back, so I have to give you 800 copper coins. You have to do more work. How can you put the blame on the rest of my family? I think you're the one who can't do it. You're not worth 800 copper coins. No, after the banquet, I can't give you that much. I can only give you 600 copper coins at most." Chapter 12:19. I say, you old woman, why are you so unreasonable? We chefs are responsible for cooking here. You didn't even cut the vegetables that were supposed to be cut, washed the dishes that were supposed to be washed, and looked for the things that were supposed to be there. How can you blame me for wasting so much time? Chef Zhou replied unhappily. Hu Chunhua put her hands on her waist and said in an imposing manner, "You didn't make it clear before. I invited you over, but you were busy with all these. How can you count on others?" Chef Zhou frowned. He felt that it was useless to reason with people like Hu Chunhua. He angrily took off the apron on his body and said to Hu Chunhua, "If you give me 600 copper coins, then you're going back on your words. I won't cook this banquet." As he said that, he was about to leave. Feng Zhangxia hurried forward to stop him. "Mother, I said I'll give you 800 copper coins, so I'll give you 800 copper coins. Now that Chef Zhou is leaving, what about our family's banquet?" "That's right, Mother. We don't know how to cook many dishes, and Yun didn't come to help us. She said that we can only count on Chef Zhou." Qian Zhanzao also chimed in. Hu Chunhua was still nagging, it wasn't done well in the first place. Of course, it's not worth the money. 600 copper coins is already good enough. Chef Zhou had cooked for so many people, but he had never met someone like Hu Chunhua. What kind of person was this? Even if Feng Zhangxia and Qian Hongzhao pulled him back, he still didn't want to cook. Okay. I'll take it that I suffered a loss today. Whoever wants to cook can cook. Chef Zhou angrily pushed Feng Zhangxia away. Seeing that Chef Zhou was really going to leave, Feng Zhangxia and Qian Hongzhao were very anxious. They hurriedly persuaded Hu Chunhua, "Mother, don't say any more. Hurry and persuade Chef Zhou. If Chef Zhou leaves, how can the banquet continue? Mother, you can't say something soft. You can't ruin little sister's happy occasion for 200 copper coins, right? If this gets out, people will laugh at us." "That's right, Mother. It was such a glorious occasion. We can't let others talk about the banquet. Otherwise, when little sister finds out, she'll blame us." With Feng Zhangxia and Qian Hongzhao's persuasion, Hu Chunhua rolled her eyes. Although she was unwilling, she had no choice. Thus, he nodded and said, "Ai, all right then. That chef really got lucky. Mother, don't be angry. The most important thing is to make little sister's wedding grand, don't you think so? Hua Chunhua replied, yes, yes, yes. Hurry up and call Chef Zhou back. All right. Feng Zhangxia replied, feeling relieved in her heart. The reason why she kept Chef Zhou alive was that she was afraid that Hua Chunhua would not be able to find him later. If that happened, they would have to work for her. That wouldn't do. She was already busy. Living was tiring enough. If she cooked a big pot of dishes, she would be exhausted to death. Chef Zhou was packing up his things. When he was about to leave, Feng Zhangxia ran over and shouted to Chef Zhou, Chef Zhou, don't take my mother-in-law's words to heart. I just said that the salary will definitely not be less. You can rest assured. Chef Zhou was a person with a temper. When he heard Feng Zhangxia's words, he snorted coldly, forget it, forget it. No need. I'll go. Your family's banquet, whoever wants to cook can do it. I won't earn 800 copper coins. I'll go now. Chapter 12:20. Feng Zhangxia did not expect Chef Zhou to say this. She was stunned on the spot. After she reacted, she hurriedly said to Chef Zhou, don't be like this. If you leave, what will happen to my family's banquet? What does that have to do with me? I still want to say that I'm really unlucky to have come here today. Not only did I not earn any money, I even suffered a stomach full of anger. Chef Zhou, don't be like this. I'll ask my mother to apologize to you. This banquet is halfway done. Is there any way to invite another chef now? Feng Zhangxia frowned and looked at Chef Zhou with a pleading expression. Chef Zhou snorted coldly, that's still your family's business. All right, I'm not going to talk nonsense with you. I've packed my things, I have to go. With that, Chef Zhou carried the wicker basket he brought over and walked out of the courtyard. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly came out of the kitchen. Hua Chunhua shouted, Mother, hurry up and come out. Chef Zhou is leaving. I said 800 copper coins, but he's not willing to continue cooking. Hua Chunhua rushed out of the kitchen and scolded loudly, What? Didn't I say 800 copper coins and he's not willing to do it? Feng Zhangxia nodded and said, Yes, Mother. He's not willing to do it. Right now, he's in a fit of anger. It's probably because he was angered by you just now. Hurry up and say something. It's best if you say something soft and apologize. That way, he'll agree. However, Hua Chunhua frowned. Why should I say something soft? How can this person be like this? Since he said that he's going to host a banquet for our family's head chef, how can he go back on his words? If this spreads out, let's see how he's going to do business in the future. Chef Zhou's sharp ears heard Hua Chunhua's words. He could not help but turn around and said to Hua Chunhua, Who's going back on their words? Shouldn't you be the first one to go back on your words? You clearly said 800 copper coins, but you suddenly said 600 copper coins. What do you mean by this? Hua Chunhua was not convinced by Chef Zhou's words. She said, Isn't it because you work too slowly? That's why it's worth so much money. Fine. Whatever you say. I won't cook anymore. You can't do anything to me. I'm really unlucky. Chef Zhou muttered and left in a huff. He was really an idiot. He had wasted his time arguing with Hua Chunhua, and now he was even angrier. At this moment, Chef Zhou really left. Feng Zhangxia said in her heart, It's over. Mother. Feng Zhangxia looked at Hua Chunhua, not knowing what to do. Hua Chunhua's frown deepened. This chef, this was too much. Wasn't this clearly intentional? He must be doing this to get her to give him more money. She wasn't that stupid. At this moment, Zhao Baoshan walked over. What's going on? Feng Zhangxia said to Zhao Baoshan with a bitter face, Father, our family's chef left. What? Zhao Baoshan was stunned. The chef left? What's going on? What's going to happen to the banquet now that he's gone? Feng Zhangxia sighed and said, Yes, father. I don't know what to do now. Where can we find a chef for our banquet? Zhao Baoshan's brows furrowed. Chef can leave in peace. Don't change the topic. What's going on? Give me a clear explanation. Faced with Zhao Baoshan's interrogation, Feng Zhangxia looked at Hu Chunhua with some hesitation. This. Father. Chapter 12:21. His displeased gaze landed on Hu Chunhua. I say, you old woman. Las Hui-er's marriage is such an important matter, and you're still causing trouble. What on earth are you thinking? Don't tell me you're pretending to be sh*t. Hu Chunhua was a little unconvinced by Zhao Baoshan's words. Old man, why are you scolding me? You should be scolding that chef. Who asked him to be so troublesome? Troublesome? Why troublesome? It's not time yet. If the banquet starts later, so be it. It's not like they want to be slow, right? After all, the earlier we get busy, the earlier we can go back. Old man, it's useless for you to scold me now. I just can't stand that chef. Look, how can there be a chef like that, leaving just like that? Hu Chunhua continued to nag. Zhao Baoshan only felt that Hu Chunhua was really hopeless. Now you tell me, who's going to cook now that the chef is gone? Where are we going to find a chef at this time? If we mess up today's banquet, our old Zhao family will lose face. See how I'll deal with you. Zhao Baoshan snorted lightly and said to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua was a little flustered after being glared at by Zhao Baoshan. She was afraid that Zhao Baoshan would really deal with her. Who to get to cook was indeed a problem now. Hu Chunhua frowned and said to Zhao Baoshan, Old man, this chef is gone. If we can't do it, let's get Yun-er to help. Yun-er to help? Then you go and try first. If you can order Yun around, then we'll talk about it later. This. Hu Chunhua frowned. She naturally knew that Zhao Yun was not easy to order around. Then I'll go and try first. Hu Chunhua muttered after hesitating for a while. The banquet couldn't be delayed for too long. It had to be resolved quickly. Okay, then you go and try. Zhao Baoshan nodded in response. At this time, after Zhao Yun-er finished watching the scene of Zhao Xinhui's wedding, she went back to the kitchen to help cook. Zhao Xinhui's wedding was extravagant and extravagant. News of it would definitely spread throughout the surrounding villages. Everyone was envious of Zhao Xinhui, but Zhao Yun didn't feel much. What was the use of putting on such a grand show? Zhao Xinhui was a concubine after all. Who knew how long young Master Meng, that lecherous fellow, would favor Zhao Xinhui? Zhao Yun'er felt that it didn't matter if the family she married was poor. The most important thing was that the person treated her well. Mother, father went to the table for lunch, right? Zhao Yun-er asked casually. Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, yes. Then we can cook one less dish. Okay. By the way, mother, how much did you send as a gift for younger aunt's wedding? Zhao Yun gossiped. She was afraid that her parents would send too much. Speaking of this, Liang Jinxiao looked a little disappointed. Sigh, we sent 66 copper coins in the beginning. Your grandmother said that we sent too little, only 66 copper coins. She said that it wasn't easy for your younger aunt to get married. As her brother and sister-in-law, we should send more. Liang Jinxiao said. After hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Zhao Yun-er frowned. 66 copper coins is too little. When older sister Ping got married, didn't they only send 20 copper coins? Speaking of which, it was even more difficult for Zhao Ping-er to get married. Shouldn't old Zhao's family send more? Chapter 12:22. 66 copper coins isn't a small amount for the elders. Mother, this is a matter of equal value. I'll give you the same amount as you give me. Unless you're willing to give more, no one else has the right to say anything. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, Liang Jinxiao sighed a few more times. There's no other way. We can't quarrel with your grandmother and the rest. It's just a matter of a few dozen copper coins. Let's just give more. The corner of Zhao Yun's mouth twitched. She didn't know what to say to Liang Jinxiao. This cheap mother of hers still had such a stubborn personality. She couldn't change Liang Jinxiao for the time being. Just as Zhao Yun's heart ached and she was thinking of how to get back the money that Liang Jinxiao wasted from Hu Chunhua hopped into the third branch's kitchen. When Zhao Yun saw Hu Chunhua enter, she asked mildly, "Grandmother, what are you doing here? It's such a joyous occasion. Why do you have time to come to my house?" Hu Chunhua's expression was very ugly. She didn't like Zhao Yun's attitude and words. However, in order to get Zhao Yun to help, she still said to Zhao Yun, are you busy now? Can I discuss something with you? Zhao Yun's lips curled into a smile. Discuss something with her? It couldn't be anything good. Hence, she picked up the spatula and continued to cook. She said to Hu Chunhua, "Grandmother, didn't you see it? I'm cooking and I'm busy. I don't have time. If you have something to say, just say it." Hu Chunhua's expression became even uglier. This wretched girl was really infuriating. Hu Chunhua naturally knew that Zhao Yun'er said that on purpose, but she had to force a smile and beg Zhao Yun'er girl, it's like this. Your aunt got married and held a banquet, but the cook suddenly had something to do and left. Grandma came over to ask you if you could help prepare a banquet. As Hu Chunhua spoke, she kept glancing at Zhao Yun'er to see Zhao Yun'er's reaction. When Zhao Yun'er heard this, she was a little puzzled. Chef left just like that? How interesting. Zhao Yun'er knew that something must have happened to Hu Chunhua again. Zhao Yun'er forced a smile and replied to Hu Chunhua, "Grandma, didn't you tell me about this before? Didn't I make it very clear?" Hu Chunhua's expression stiffened for a moment. Naturally, she knew what Zhao Yun'er was talking about. Zhao Yun'er meant that if she didn't pay, she wouldn't come over to help old Zhao's family cook. Now that Chef Zhou had left, if Zhao Yun'er didn't go cook, the banquet at home really couldn't be held. "Yun'er girl, how long can your family cook? When you're done cooking, can't you go over and help? How about this, we've prepared most of the things for you. I'll give you 800 copper coins, okay?" 800 copper coins isn't a small amount. Hu Chunhua thought for a while and said to Zhao Yun'er. In her heart, she didn't plan to spend a single cent and let Zhao Yun'er go over to help for free. However, in this situation, she definitely couldn't do it. If she gave Zhao Yun'er 800 copper coins, she would treat it as giving it to Chef Zhou. Zhao Yun'er only felt that it was ridiculous. She directly chased Hu Chunhua away. "Grandma, take the 800 copper coins and find someone else. I won't take this job." Hu Chunhua was suddenly very anxious. "You girl, you won't do it even if I give you money. What do you mean by this?" Chapter 12:23. After Zhao Yun'er finished speaking, Hu Chunhua immediately understood Zhao Yun'er's meaning. To put it bluntly, she was complaining that the money given was too little. This wretched girl only knew how to think about the money in other people's hands. Hu Chunhua naturally remembered that Zhao Yun had asked for 2 taels of silver when she opened her mouth. Hu Chunhua naturally couldn't bear to part with it in her heart. 2 taels of silver. What couldn't that sum of money buy? I say, Yun girl, are you thinking too much about money? You only know how to haggle over the little money in my hands. It's not like you don't have money. You earn so much yuan yourself, so what's wrong with earning less? After Hu Chunhua scolded, she was directly pushed out of the kitchen by Zhao Yun'er. "Grandma, I didn't force you. You came to beg me of your own accord. Seeing that Hu Chunhua was driven out by Zhao Yun, Feng Zhangxia hurriedly gathered the money and said, "Mother, what's wrong?" Did Yun girl agree? It would have been better if Feng Zhangxia didn't mention it. Once she mentioned Hu Chunhua, she became even angrier. With a cold face, she stood in front of Zhao Yun's kitchen and scolded, "That wretched girl only thinks about money, 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 money. She's simply thinking about money. She still has to extort people to help her hold a banquet, and it costs 2 taels of silver. Even hiring a chef isn't that expensive." When Zhao Yun heard Hu Chunhua's words, the corners of her mouth couldn't help but twitch. This old woman, did she have to be like this? Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Yun, with a worried expression and said to Zhao Yun, your grandmother is making a ruckus outside. Why don't you go and help? We don't want our neighbors to hear about it and spread rumors about you." Zhao Yun replied indifferently, "How can others talk about other people's affairs? Haven't there been enough gossip about me in our village over the years? What am I afraid of?" After Zhao Yun finished speaking, Liang Jinxiao was silent for a moment. What Zhao Yun said was true. There were too many rumors in the village. If he really cared about them one by one, he would probably be exhausted. Outside the house, Hu Chunhua's voice attracted the attention of the villagers. Since they had nothing to do, they decided to come over and watch. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly tugged at Hu Chunhua and whispered into Hu Chunhua's ear, "Mother, don't talk about it. If it gets out, people will laugh at us." "Why will people laugh at us?" Hu Chunhua looked at Feng Zhangxia and asked in confusion. Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and explained, "Mother, think about it. So many people are waiting to eat at the banquet. If you make a scene, won't people think that we can't eat at the banquet? Won't people laugh at us?" When Hu Chunhua heard this, she frowned and said to Feng Zhangxia, "Am I not angry? Otherwise, why would I say it?" Feng Zhangxia tugged at Hu Chunhua and said, "Mother, although 2 taels of silver is a little too much, we have no other choice now. If we don't invite Yun'er over, how can we invite her? Don't you think so? We have to hold younger sister's wedding respectfully. Don't be stingy with this little money. Otherwise, we can't let the matter that everyone is envious of become a joke in everyone's mouth, right?" After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, Hu Chunhua thought carefully. "No. Eldest daughter-in-law, I still can't bear to part with the money. We can't let Yun'er, that wretched girl, take advantage of it." Chapter 12:24. Feng Zhangxia was speechless. She didn't know what to say to Hu Chunhua. Now that she had asked someone to cook a simple meal, how good could it be? Other people would definitely not be satisfied after eating it. Zhao Xinhui had received so much money as a wedding gift. Although 2 taels of silver was a little too much, it wasn't like they couldn't spend it. Seeing that Feng Zhangxia was hesitating, Hu Chunhua urged her, "I say, eldest son's wife, why are you still in a daze? Hurry up and go." Feng Zhangxia's mouth twitched and she smiled embarrassedly, "I know, mother. I'll go now." At this moment, Zhao Baoshan walked over and started to interrogate her about what had happened. Feng Zhangxia told Zhao Baoshan everything. When Zhao Baoshan heard this, he quickly reprimanded Hu Chunhua. "I say, you old woman, seriously. 2 taels of silver is fine. If you ask old Lady Mo to cook it, how good can it be? Our old Zhao family is going to be disgraced, and that's because of you." Hu Chunhua pursed her lips, "Old man, why don't you scold that Yun girl? That cheap girl is asking for too much, but I don't see you saying anything. You're so stubborn. She has no obligation to cook a banquet for us. Since you've already invited her, treat her like a good chef. The most important thing is to make our old Zhao family's banquet a good one. Make it grand." Zhao Baoshan was the most prideful person, so in Zhao Baoshan's opinion, as long as the banquet was grand, it didn't matter if they paid more. Besides, no matter how much money they paid, it wasn't for anyone else, but for Zhao Yun. Then all right. Then give Yun, 2 taels of silver. Ask her to cook the banquet. Hua Chunhua said this, but her heart was bleeding. 2 taels of silver, if it was used to buy meat, who knew how much it could buy? Hua Chunhua went to Zhao Yun's kitchen with a displeased expression and said to Zhao Yun, I say, Yun, girl, I'll give you 2 taels of silver. Hurry up and help me, otherwise everyone will be anxious later. After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, Zhao Yun, still didn't move and had no intention to help cook. Hua Chunhua's brows immediately knitted together and asked Zhao Yun, girl, why aren't you talking to me? What do you mean? Didn't I say I'll give you 2 taels of silver? Is that still not? Zhao Yun's hands paused and she curled her lips and said with a smile that wasn't a smile, Grandmother, I said 2 taels of silver would be enough, but now it's not enough. You have to give me 3 taels of silver. When Hua Chunhua heard this, her eyes widened as if they were on fire. What? Zhao Yun, you wretched girl, you're still asking for an exorbitant price. 3 taels of silver? I say, why don't you just rob me? Zhao Yun replied coldly, Grandmother, I already said that I won't force you. If you don't want to, then you can leave. You, 3 taels, not a single copper less. Otherwise, hurry up and leave. You. Hua Chunhua was almost angered to death by Zhao Yun. This wretched girl, she was too much. She could make him so angry that he was fuming. Mother, we have to do 3 taels of silver. Feng Zhangxia pooled the money and hurriedly continued to say to Hua Chunhua. My mother, when did our old Zhao family have such a black-hearted girl? Chapter 12:25. Glancing at Hua Chunhua's distressed look, Zhao Yun couldn't help but curl her lips and sneer in her heart. Now that she had added 1 tael of silver, Hua Chunhua had no choice but to agree. How comfortable. Finally, the 3rd branch got back double the money that was cheated out of them. Since that's the case, I'll go over. Zhao Yun put down the spatula in her hand and handed it to Hua Chunhua. She still pretended to be obedient and said this. Liang Jinxiao smiled helplessly. Yun, this girl, had so many wicked ideas in her head that she didn't know what to say. Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Yun hatefully and could only swallow the blood in her heart into her stomach. After today's banquet, she would have a chance to settle accounts with Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun hurried to old Zhao's kitchen and then got busy. Old Zhao's family had prepared a lot of ingredients. There were all kinds of things, including chicken, duck, fish, and everything. This time, Hua Chunhua was so generous because she wanted to make Zhao Xinhui proud, and at the same time, she wanted to make the Zhao family proud. Because there were all kinds of ingredients, all the dishes were cut and ready. Zhao Yun got busy quite quickly. It didn't take long for the banquet to begin. After Zhao Yun left the kitchen, Zhao Ping went to Liang Jinxiao and discussed with Liang Jinxiao about borrowing money. Because she had promised Zhao Ping before, Liang Jinxiao didn't want to go back on her words, so she agreed and waited for Zhao Ping to bring the money to her before she went home. When the banquet started in old Zhao's family, Zhao Ping couldn't hold back and asked Liang Jinxiao, Mother, can I eat at the table too? The food at this banquet is really too fragrant. As Zhao Ping said this, she licked the corner of her mouth, looking very greedy. Ping, girl, our family's father is at the table, but you can't sit at the table. Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping awkwardly. But mother, I really want to eat at the table. The smell of the food is too tempting. I haven't had a good meal in a long time. Can I eat at the table? Zhao Ping looked at Liang Jinxiao pleadingly. Liang Jinxiao sighed. Looking at Zhao Ping's thin face and chubby face, Liang Jinxiao's heart really ached. After this daughter married into the family Qin family, she didn't have a good life. When she went back to her parents' home, if there was anything good to eat, he would naturally think of her first. This. Ping, it's not that I don't want you to eat, but there's no other way. You have to discuss this with your father. Liang Jinxiao comforted Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, okay, then I'll talk to father later. Okay. But mother, I think I should be able to sit at the table. Father can also sit at the table. Zhao Ping thought for a moment and said to Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Ping curiously and asked, Ping, girl, why? Why do you say that? Zhao Ping said somewhat righteously, Mother, the wedding dress that little aunt is wearing was borrowed by me. She didn't give me any benefits. Can't I eat at the banquet? After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Liang Jinxiao felt that it was very reasonable. Ping, what you said makes some sense, Mother, it makes sense. If Grandpa and Grandma don't give it to me, then I'll go and make a scene. Let others be the judge. Chapter 12:26. Zhao Ping responded perfunctorily, I know, Mother. After that, Zhao Ping ran out, ready to talk to Hua Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan. After seeing Hua Chunhua's dark face, Zhao Ping knew that it was useless to talk to Hua Chunhua. So she ran to Zhao Baoshan and asked Zhao Baoshan, Master, can I eat at the table? Zhao Baoshan was slightly stunned. Ping, what do you want to eat at the table? Master, I borrowed Aunt's wedding gown. My wedding gown contributed a lot to Aunt's grand wedding. I didn't ask for anything else. Can't I have a meal at the table? After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Zhao Baoshan was slightly stunned. He felt that Zhao Ping made sense. So be it. What could one more person eat? Thus, he nodded and replied, that's fine. Little Ping, just pick a table and sit down. Okay, Master. Zhao Ping answered happily. Fortunately, there were enough tables for the banquet prepared by old Zhao's family. Zhao Ping quickly found a table and sat down. The table that Zhao Ping sat at was for women. There were 2 people on each side, and many of them had children behind them. After seeing this, Zhao Ping frowned. When it came to snatching food to eat, women were the best at it. Furthermore, she had so many children with her, so what was there to eat? After thinking about it, Zhao Ping felt that she couldn't sit down like this. Instead, she quickly moved away from the table and saw a man sitting at the table beside her. It wasn't full and there was an empty seat left. She quickly jumped down from the table in front of her and walked towards the empty seat. After Zhao Pinger sat down at the man's table, the man at the table cast a weird look at Zhao Pinger and asked, Girl Pinger, what are you doing here? Exactly. What are you doing here? Isn't the table for women next to it? That's right, Ping, girl, you're the only girl at this table. What are you doing here? Hurry up and go to the next table. One by one, the men tried to persuade Zhao Ping to leave. After all, Zhao Ping was a woman, and it was inconvenient for the men to eat and drink together. It would be fine if there weren't any seats at the side, but there were still seats at the side. Zhao Ping didn't need to sit with them at all. Zhao Ping wasn't willing to leave, and she hesitated for a while. The men at this table were definitely not as aggressive as the women. If he sat at this table and ate, it would definitely be good. Therefore, Zhao Ping was absolutely unwilling to leave and fight with a bunch of women and children for food. Why can't I sit here? I'm not bothering you guys. Why can't I sit here? I want to sit here. Zhao Ping said angrily. At the table, when the man saw Zhao Ping like this, he felt helpless. This girl was too insensible, wasn't she? This was the first time he saw someone like this. Ping, girl, no. I'm not saying that you're a hindrance, but we're all men. It's good to sit together and drink. Why are you interfering? Zhao Ping replied unhappily, you guys. I'm not bothering you. Chapter 12:27. You lass, why are you so unreasonable and sensible? That's right, she's not being sensible, she's being thick-skinned. Which family's young lady is like her? Hurry up and leave. You don't mind being a hindrance, but we do. Hurry up. Ping, lass, it's not that we want to criticize you, but that's the truth. Hurry up and leave. No matter what these men said, Zhao Ping acted as if it had nothing to do with her, as if she didn't feel anything at all. In the end, the men at the table were at their wits' end. They had already said their piece, but Zhao Ping still refused to leave. What could they do? They couldn't possibly chase Zhao Ping away, right? Looking at Zhao Ping's attitude, they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to chase her away even if they wanted to. After so many years, they had seen many things at banquets, but this was the first time they had seen something like this. They couldn't understand how there could be such a person like Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping's shamelessness made the men at the table very worried, and they didn't know what to do. Zhao Ping couldn't continue to refuse to leave. After thinking for a while, they finally said, Ping, lass, look, what do you think I should do to make you leave? Nothing, I just want to sit and eat with you all. Do we have to leave? Zhao Ping's mouth twitched as she spoke. It's not that I can't, but it's really inconvenient. At this moment, Zhao Baoshan walked over. Knowing the situation, he lectured Zhao Ping, I say, Ping, alas, how can you be like this? Hurry up and get up, where's your manners? Zhao Baoshan's face was gloomy, and he looked quite terrifying. Master, if you don't listen to me, you won't be able to eat at the banquet. Zhao Baoshan threatened her. Zhao Ping reluctantly got up, but she was afraid that Zhao Baoshan really wouldn't let her eat, so she could only say, Master, all right then. After dawdling, she got up and moved to the table next to a group of women. Naturally, these women had also seen what had happened just now. They couldn't help but stare at Zhao Ping a few times, thinking that Zhao Ping was really a weirdo. It was the first time they saw a woman insist on squeezing into a group of men. She really shameless. After Zhao Ping sat back down, a mocking voice rang out. TSK, TSK, TSK. Old Zhao's granddaughter is really interesting. That's right, there are so many weirdos this year. How can there be such a shameless person? You've seen it today? If you ask me, how can old Zhao's family let such a granddaughter eat at the table? Isn't this embarrassing for old Zhao's family? She's really shameless. What can she do? She's already been disliked by men, but she still eagerly went up to them. If you ask me, she just lacks men. She can't control herself when she sees men. There's a table full of men, so she eagerly went up to them. In the past, when she wasn't married, it made sense. After all, she thought that men were rare things. But now that she's married, she doesn't have a man. Don't you already have a man? Why are you still like this? Maybe her man isn't good enough, or he doesn't treat her well. Alright, stop talking. The dishes are about to be served. Let's quickly prepare to eat. Alright, alright, alright. The whispers of these women still reached Zhao Ping's ears. Zhao Ping's brows furrowed together. She wished she could punch someone. Chapter 12:28. Have you guys said enough? If you continue, then don't eat. Hurry up and get lost. Zhao Ping said angrily. After saying that, the women at the table objected even more. Ping, girl, you don't even let others talk about what you did. We didn't say anything wrong. That's right. Besides, we sent money over as gifts. Why do you want us to get lost? If you want to talk about getting lost, shouldn't you be the one getting lost? What kind of family hosts a banquet, and the girls at home eat at the table? This is the first time I've seen it. Ping, girl, since you dislike us, then hurry up and leave. Don't hang around in front of us. Don't come here and eat with us. The women all looked at Zhao Ping with disgust, as if they couldn't stand Zhao Ping's behavior just now. Although Zhao Ping was thick-skinned, she didn't want these women to talk about her like that. I won't leave. I'll sit on the chair and eat. What's wrong with that? Zhao Ping replied angrily. After that, she ignored these women and sat on the table without moving. After a while, the banquet started, and dishes were served on the table. Zhao Ping quickly went up. The first dish was a few cold dishes. Zhao Ping didn't have much interest in them. After all, she could eat at home on a daily basis, so Zhao Ping didn't touch her chopsticks. She saved her stomach for better meat dishes later. However, the other women who were waiting were already hungry. When they saw the dishes being served, their stomachs rumbled. As long as it was a dish, they would eat it immediately. They didn't care if it was a cold dish or something else, as long as it was delicious. Zhao Yun's culinary skills were not bad. Even if it was a small cold dish, it still tasted very good. Of course, the people at the banquet ate happily. Another reason was that no matter how bad the cold dishes were, they were still better than what they usually ate at home. She saw that the cold dishes on the table had been snatched up by the woman and the child. The plates were clean, and there was only a little soup left. When Zhao Ping saw this, she couldn't help but snort coldly in her heart. She felt that this group of women was too scary. They were like hungry ghosts. This was not even considered good food. If they ate good food, wouldn't these people fight together and snatch to eat? Zhao Ping couldn't help but mutter, reincarnated hungry ghosts. What bad luck, eating with these people. She glanced at the table where the man was eating. There were still a lot of cold dishes left. After the cold dish was finished, the other dishes were served quickly as well. A plate of stir-fried pork with garlic moss, a plate of steamed pork with powder, and a plate of scrambled eggs with garlic were served. In the eyes of the villagers, these dishes were good stuff. When they saw that the dishes were about to be served, they immediately picked up their chopsticks and prepared to pick them up. As soon as Zhao Ping smelled the fragrance of the food, she immediately knew that it was good food. She hurriedly picked up her chopsticks, afraid that she would fall behind those women and not be able to eat. Don't push, don't fight. Zhao Ping originally wanted to go up, but found that her fighting strength was simply too weak compared to those women. In front of these people, she couldn't raise any strength at all and was directly squeezed to the back. When the steamed pork with powder was served, before Zhao Ping had time to move her chopsticks, the meat on top had been picked up, leaving only a few pieces of taro at the bottom and steamed together. Chapter 12:29. After the plate of steamed pork with rice flour was snatched, the plate was empty, leaving only a little bit of powder. Zhao Ping could only smell the steamed pork with rice flour, but she couldn't eat it at all. Instead, the women and children at the side began to eat with relish. When Zhao Ping saw this, she was furious. Wasn't this too much? These people, how were they humans? They were simply bandits. She hadn't even eaten it yet. They had snatched everything clean. The most excessive thing was that there was already a small amount of steamed pork with rice flour. Not a single person could get a little, but some people snatched 2 or 3 pieces, occupying the share of others. Zhao Ping angrily glanced at the people who snatched the meat. She couldn't wait to go up and fight with them. However, Zhao Ping wasn't too stupid. She knew that she couldn't make too much of a fuss, otherwise, she would be scolded again. Zhao Ping controlled her temper and sat down, continuing to wait for the next dish. To Zhao Ping's disappointment, the next dish was still snatched by those women. Zhao Ping thought that she could snatch it this time with all her effort, but she still overestimated her strength. Compared to those women, her body obviously didn't have any strength. Those women lifted their big butts, and Zhao Ping was directly sent flying. When those people squeezed into a group, Zhao Ping wanted to squeeze in, but it was already too late. The dishes in the bowl were once again swept clean. Zhao Ping was furious. If she continued to eat like this, all the good dishes would be finished. How could there be a chance for her? She knew that it was impossible to eat with these women. She couldn't even eat a little bit. Looking at the women and children at the table eating non-stop, Zhao Ping felt even hungrier. Aren't you too much? How can you let others eat? Zhao Ping angrily knocked on the table and said to the women at the table. These women continued to eat, completely ignoring Zhao Ping. Zhao Pinger's brows were tightly knitted together. Are you all deaf? Why didn't he reply? Really? At this time, a woman on the table felt her ears hurt from Zhao Pinger's voice. She said to Zhao Ping, You little girl, what are you talking about? It's not like I don't want you to eat it. Zhao Ping glanced at them coldly. You guys are already fighting over the food. What can I eat? That's your business. We all ate it, but you didn't. Who can you blame? You. You've gone too far. Zhao Ping said angrily. She didn't know how to refute these people. Zhao Pinger's face was gloomy. Okay. You people, since you treat me like this, don't blame me for doing something to you later. The women at the table naturally didn't care. What could a Zhao Ping do? Could she turn the sky upside down? Besides, they only had the mind to eat at this time. How could they have the mind to think about other things? It had to be said that Zhao Yun's cooking was really good. Even if they had eaten the steamed pork with rice flour before, it was more delicious than other people's. The steamed pork with rice flour that Zhao Yun made was mixed with fat. The texture of the meat was just right, and it tasted exceptionally fragrant. In one bite, it was not greasy, but it had the taste of oil. It was very delicious. Chapter 1230. The taro was not just a simple taro. It was imbued with the aroma of meat and oil. It tasted even better than ordinary taro. The most important thing was that it was soft and smooth. After taking a bite, he wanted to take another bite. He couldn't wait to eat more. It's delicious. Don't say, old Zhao's banquets were not bad both times. That's right. After eating so many banquets, I love to eat this family's food. They sent 20 to 30 copper coins as gifts and ate such a big table of good food. It's really worth it. If it wasn't worth it, we wouldn't have sent so many people. Unlike some families who are stingy and prepare so few dishes. The taste is not good and we can't taste what a banquet should have. I heard that these 2 banquets were prepared by the second daughter of the third branch. I heard about it too. That second daughter of the third branch is really capable. The dishes she makes are even better than the chef's. Yes. It's so fragrant. It's really better than the chef's. Sigh, why are they all from the same branch? The eldest daughter of the third branch is so different. As the few women were discussing, their gazes fell on Zhao Ping. They looked at Zhao Ping and shook their heads. If they were to praise Zhao Yun, then they were full of disdain for Zhao Ping. It was no wonder that this eldest daughter had not been married for so long. It was a miracle that she was able to get married. Not only was there a problem with Zhao Ping's appearance, even Zhao Ping's character was the same. She was not likable at all. To put it more seriously, she was hated by everyone. Even in her in-laws' family, she was still hated. Sigh, don't talk about it. The dragon has 9 sons. There's still a big difference. Ping and Yun are completely different. Sigh, marrying Yun is a blessing. Marrying Ping, tsk, forget it. Zhao Ping was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. Not only did he snatch her vegetables, but he also didn't get a single cent. Now, he was even scolding him and comparing him to Zhao Ping. Seeing that Zhao Ping was about to flip out, another dish was served. Only then did the women shut their mouths and stop talking. This time, it wasn't any other dish, but a meat slice soup. As soon as it was served, the aroma of meat wafted into his nose. Smells good, this is the meat slice soup. Another good dish. Hurry up and get ready to eat. That's right. Hurry up and finish the food in your bowl. It's delicious this way. How could Zhao Ping give these women a chance? Seeing Zhao Tianhu coming over with a plate, she hurriedly said to Zhao Tianhu, second cousin, come on, give me the broth. I'll bring it to the table. Zhao Tianhu didn't think much of it. He walked to Zhao Ping and handed the broth to Zhao Ping. Come on, little sister Ping, be careful of the soup. Zhao Ping answered happily, okay, I know. I'll be careful. With that, Zhao Ping reached out and picked up the broth. After Zhao Ping picked it up, she directly placed the broth in front of her and didn't put it in the middle of the table. The women on the table were slightly stunned. Just as they were about to scoop the broth from the bowl with a spoon, they were stopped by Zhao Ping. Chapter 1231. I say, Ping, what can we do? Of course, we eat. A woman said directly. Instead, she looked at Zhao Ping, strangely with a hint of reprimand in her tone. Logically speaking, shouldn't Zhao Ping be the one who received the food and placed it on the table? Why was it placed in front of her now? Why was she completely ignoring everyone else? What was the meaning of this? The corner of Zhao Ping's mouth twitched. She said somewhat righteously, what else do you want to eat? Just now, all of the dishes were snatched away by you. I didn't even get to eat a single one, so this meat soup can only be eaten by me. Don't even think about eating it. Hearing Zhao Ping's words, the few women at the dining table were instantly angered. What Zhao Ping snatched was the meat soup. Just looking at it made them salivate. How could they let Zhao Ping eat it for free? After glancing at the meat soup, they said to Zhao Ping, Ping, how can you be like this? You eat a bowl of it alone? We can't even have a mouthful of soup. Don't even think about it. That's right, that's right. How can this be? Exactly, this is the first time I've seen this. She can't not let us eat it. We can't let her eat it alone. That's right. Just now, it wasn't us who didn't let her eat it. It was her who couldn't eat it. After these people finished speaking, they didn't waste any more time talking to Zhao Ping. They directly picked up their chopsticks and started to pick up meat into their bowls. Zhao Ping instantly panicked. She was afraid that her meat soup would be snatched away. You're not allowed to snatch it. You're not allowed to snatch it. This is for me alone. After shouting a few times, Zhao Ping realized that her words were useless. These people were still like robbers, picking up their spoons and poking into the meat soup in front of her. In her desperation, Zhao Ping spat a few mouthfuls of saliva into the soup. She wanted to know, after spitting, would they still eat? Just as Zhao Ping expected, after Zhao Ping spat a few mouthfuls of saliva, the women on the table were stunned. They were stunned by Zhao Ping's behavior. Zhao Ping, this is too disgusting. After spitting, who else would dare to eat? Looking at the fragrant meat slices soup, the women did not dare to put their chopsticks down. For a moment, he lost his appetite and felt a little nauseous. Zhao Ping was pleased to see that the women had stopped fighting. She didn't need to protect them anymore. He praised himself for being too quick-witted. If not for this, the broth would have been snatched away as well. Isn't it a robbery? Why aren't you snatching it now? Zhao Ping asked proudly. She took the chopsticks and began to eat. In family Qin, there weren't many oily things. Zhao Ping ate it and found it exceptionally delicious. This big bowl of meat slices soup could really nourish her body. When the women on the table saw Zhao Ping eating the meat slices soup alone and enjoying it, they couldn't help but roll their eyes. God, How can there be such a person in this world? This is simply unheard of. I've never seen it before. This is the first time I've seen such a weirdo. In order to prevent us from eating, she actually spat into the soup. Eating a big bowl alone, isn't she afraid of bursting? Look at her posture, she'll grow into a pig later. Chapter 1232. Who knows? That wretched lass, she's really despicable to think of this idea. She's really capable. She can't give it to us now. Oh my God, this is the first time I've seen such a shameless person. How did old Zhao's family produce such a trash? I'm really speechless. Then what can we do? Who can do anything? It's just a big bowl of meat soup. That wretched lass is really lucky. When it came to the meat soup, they were all very unwilling. They couldn't just let Zhao Ping, or take advantage of it while the others didn't get to eat it, right? Zhao Yun, Er's eldest grandmother, Madame Hu, was also eating at the table today. Because Zhao Baojun went to another village to help with work, the task of eating wine fell on her head. Madame Hu was naturally happy with such a good thing. She just happened to be hungry and could have a good meal. She didn't expect to meet such a strange person like Zhao Ping when she came to eat wine. Seeing Zhao Ping, eating, Madame Hu couldn't help but scold, "I say, Ping, you wretched lass. Eat, 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 you only know how to eat. Do you still want to eat?" Zhao Ping, swallowed the meat soup on the plate in one gulp and said to Madame Hu, "Eldest grandmother, don't scold me. When you fought over it, I couldn't eat it. Why didn't you give it to me? You wretched lass, you're still so stubborn." Madame Hu felt that she couldn't reason with Zhao Ping, so she directly shouted, "Zhao Baoshan. I say, second son, look at your Ping, What's wrong with her? Why did you let her eat? It's fine if she's at the table, but you even let her eat it. She doesn't let people eat it." Madame Hu's voice was very loud. Other than Zhao Baoshan, everyone else at the banquet looked over. They looked at Madame Hu and Zhao Baoshan, and then looked at Zhao Ping, Zhao Baoshan was slightly stunned. He glanced at Zhao Ping, and found that the bowl of meat soup was in front of Zhao Ping, This. Zhao Baoshan's eyebrows twisted together. He didn't know how to explain it to Madame Hu. What's wrong with his Ping, lass? Why didn't she know the rules? She couldn't blame others for having opinions. Madame Hu gave Zhao Baoshan a stern look and said, "Second son, you have to properly discipline your granddaughter. Don't come out and embarrass old Zhao's family. There are so many people here. If rumors spread, our family will be implicated." Zhao Baoshan's expression turned even uglier when he heard Madame Hu's words. For the sake of his face, he could only say, "My Ping, lass has already given money as a gift. If she doesn't eat at the table, it's definitely not good, second son. It's fine if Ping, is eating at the table, but look at her. She doesn't even know the rules. If you ask me, it's all because you didn't educate her well." Zhao Ping knew that although Madame Hu was speaking to Zhao Baoshan, she was indirectly scolding him. These words were meant for her to hear. Unable to restrain herself, she stood up and prepared to fight with Madame Hu. Zhao Baoshan hurriedly pulled Zhao Ping, to the side and reprimanded her. "I say, Ping, lass, what's wrong with you? If you're allowed to eat, then eat properly. How can you eat alone and not let others eat?" Chapter 1233. After Zhao Ping, finished complaining, she pursed her lips and muttered, "Master, I already said that I didn't want to sit at the same table as them, but you insisted that I sit here. Now that I can't eat, I have to snatch the food, and you're scolding me again." Zhao Baoshan glared at Zhao Ping. You have a lot of excuses, and others can't out-talk you, okay? Really? You can continue to sit and eat, but don't snatch the food, lest the guests have a problem with it." Zhao Ping, opened her mouth and wanted to say something, but Zhao Baoshan stopped her. Okay, don't say any more. If you have a problem with it, don't eat at the table. It's a joyous occasion, but you made a fuss. It's really embarrassing. Zhao Ping pursed her lips. She was afraid that Zhao Baoshan really wouldn't let her eat, so she could only agree. If she didn't sit at the table, she definitely wouldn't be able to eat it. If she sat at the table and snatched it, she might be able to snatch it. I know, master. I won't be like this, okay? Zhao Baoshan agreed. He still had some doubts about Zhao Ping, and was afraid that Zhao Ping would continue to make a fuss. Zhao Baoshan walked in front of Madame Hu and said to her, eldest sister-in-law, my Ping is not sensible. How about this? Another bowl of meat soup will be served on the table. You can try it again. I'll have Miss Ping stop being like this. Since Zhao Baoshan had already said this, Madame Hu was naturally too embarrassed to continue. She reluctantly agreed and continued to ramble on for a while. Fortunately, there was still a little bit of meat soup left. Zhao Tianhu brought another bowl over, and the women at the table were able to taste a bit of minced meat again. Because of Zhao Ping's interference at the banquet, there were some small conflicts from time to time. After the banquet, the people in the courtyard continued to leave. Zhao Ping ate until her stomach was full. When she returned to the third branch's room, Zhao Yun was also busy. Because he had been cooking non-stop, he was so tired that he was sweating profusely. His whole body felt like it was soaked in sweat. When he went back later, he would have to wash his body properly. Otherwise, he would probably stink after being cooped up for an entire day. Just as he was about to leave old Zhao's kitchen, Daodu and Zhao Tianfu came bounding in. He was aroused by the aroma coming out of old Zhao's kitchen. Mother, Daodu ran in and called out to Zhao Yuner in a soft voice. What's wrong, Daodu? Zhao Yun wiped her apron and asked Daodu. Mother, what are you doing? It smells so good. Daodu is hungry. He wants to eat. Daodu looked at Zhao Yuner expectantly. Zhao Yuner smiled and nodded. Okay, mother will make it for Daodu. Zhao Yuner glanced at the leftover dishes. She hadn't touched her chopsticks yet. There was a stewed longan mixed with quail eggs and brown sugar. It was sweet and children should like it very much. Just as she was about to eat, Hua Chunhua happened to see it. She rushed in angrily and said to Zhao Yuner, this is my family's food. I can't let you eat it. Zhao Yuner's hands suddenly stopped moving the bowl and chopsticks. A pair of sharp eyes fell on Hua Chunhua. This damned old woman. She really can't bear to part with even a little bit of food. When we had leftovers at home, didn't she also take some of it back? Hua Chunhua looked at Zhao Yuner proudly and continued to say to Zhao Yuner, it's fine if you want to eat it. However, you have to give me 1 tael of silver per bowl. Otherwise, don't even think about touching the soup. Chapter 1234. 1 tael for a bowl, that's enough. Let's see what Zhao Yun can do. Anyway, if you want to eat, you have to pay a price. After Zhao Yun heard this, her face darkened and turned ugly. Hua Chunhua felt uncomfortable being stared at by Zhao Yun, so she unhappily replied to Zhao Yun, I say, Yun, girl, what are you looking at? It's useless to stare at me. I said 1 tael for a bowl, so you have to pay. Otherwise, don't drink it. At the side, Qian Zhozha couldn't stand it anymore. She moved in front of Hua Chunhua and tugged at Hua Chunhua, Mother, if Daodu wants to drink, just let him drink a small bowl. Anyway, we have a lot left. Why are you being so calculative with a child? After Qian Zhozha finished speaking, Hua Chunhua glared at Qian Zhozha unhappily. Why should I let him eat? I don't see Yun, girl, being filial to me and giving me anything to eat. Let's not talk about this. This wretched girl is so shrewd. She helped me cook a banquet and still needs 3 taels of silver. If you eat my food, then you have to ask for her money. Otherwise, won't I lose out? This. Zhozha didn't know what to say for a moment. She looked at Zhao Yun with some difficulty and sighed. Her mother was too snobbish. If she wanted to get anything from her, it would be harder than ascending to the heavens. She said what she wanted to say, but she couldn't help Zhao Yun. There was really nothing she could do. If you don't want to eat, then don't eat. One tael for a bowl? One tael of silver can buy a lot of things back home. I'll slowly stew it for myself later. After Zhao Yun said coldly to Hu Chunhua, she coaxed Daodu, Daodu, can we not eat it? Mother will buy it for you later and stew it for you. Daodu raised his head and looked at Zhao Yun, then looked at Hu Chunhua. His little head nodded. Mother, okay, Daodu understands. Daodu is so obedient. Zhao Yun stroked Daodu's head. Hu Chunhua coldly snorted, if you don't want to eat it, then don't eat, I don't want you to eat. Let's go, Daodu. Let's go together. Okay. Daodu nodded his head, and followed Zhao Yun, out of old Zhao's kitchen. Before leaving, Zhao Yun said to Hu Chunhua, Grandma, give me the money for cooking as soon as possible. Don't let me. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she walked away with her head held high. Seeing Zhao Yun like that, Hu Chunhua was very angry. How could there be such a stubborn person who only knew how to ask for money? It was really infuriating. Mother. Actually, if you let Yun eat a bowl, she might not ask for so much. If we treat her well, she might even help for free. Zhozha muttered beside Hu Chunhua. Zhozha felt that his second niece was actually not bad. If you treated her well, she would definitely treat you well too. If you didn't treat her well, she would naturally argue with you about everything. Especially people like Hu Chunhua, who often had conflicts with Zhao Yun. What do you know? That wretched girl, is it possible? You still expect her to treat you well? Forget it. There's no hope at all. It's good enough that she didn't anger me to death. Hu Chunhua said angrily. Sigh. Zhozha sighed and didn't say anything else. After Zhao Yun returned home from old Zhao's house was still in full swing. Chapter 1235. Hu Chunhua saw that all the women in the house were sitting still, so she urged them angrily, What are you doing? Why are you so lazy? Go and clean up the bowls and chopsticks, or you'll have to send them back after washing them. The bowls and chopsticks at the banquet were basically rented from a shop in town. They would be paid for renting them, and after they were used, they would send them back. After all, no one in the country would prepare so many bowls and chopsticks, and these bowls and chopsticks cost money. Mother, I washed the dishes for a long time today. You can't make me wash the dishes again. After Li Chuiying heard Hu Chunhua's voice, he hurriedly replied, afraid that Hu Chunhua would order him around again. You're not washing them? Hu Chunhua frowned. Yes. Mother, can I not wash them? Let sister-in-law and sister-in-law do this work, I really can't do it. Mother, look at my hands, aren't they covered in a layer of skin? If I continue to wash them, my hands will be useless. As Li Chuiying spoke, he stretched out his hands and moved closer to Hu Chunhua, speaking to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua glanced at Li Chuiying's hands and found that Li Chuiying was indeed not lying. His hands were covered in a layer of skin. After a moment of silence, she said to Feng Zhangxia and Qian Zhonghua, then you two can go and clean up. Second daughter-in-law's hands really can't do it. Feng Zhangxia and Qian Zhonghua were not very willing. After all, they had been busy with the banquet today, and it was not as easy as Li Chuiying. How could they be willing to be asked to do the rest of the work now? Mother, I'm also tired today. Don't be fooled by the fact that I'm busy cutting vegetables. I'm dizzy and tired. Feng Zhangxia said, expressing the dissatisfaction in her heart. If she didn't say anything, if she didn't express her thoughts, Li Chuiying would definitely order her around. That's right, Mother. It's not easy being an assistant, and it's tiring. Let me and sister-in-law take a break. Qian Zhozha followed behind Feng Zhangxia and agreed. Hu Chunhua frowned when she heard the conversation between the eldest daughter-in-law and the fourth daughter-in-law, as well as Li Chuiying's excuse. She looked very unhappy. I say, each and every one of you is simply too good at slacking off. Do you mean that you want me to do it? What a lazy woman. What kind of bad luck did my old Zhao family have to marry such a piece of trash? Hu Chunhua was so angry that she started to mumble. After hearing Hu Chunhua's words, old Zhao's daughters-in-law looked at each other. They knew that one of them had to do it. Otherwise, Hu Chunhua would scold them endlessly. However, the three of them didn't want to do it. They were so tired that they didn't have the energy to do it. Mother, we're not slacking off. Isn't there no other way? We've been busy all morning. We just rested, and now we have to clean up. Can't we do it later? Qian Zhozha said weakly. Hu Chunhua rolled her eyes at Qian Zhozha. Wait. I want to see how long you'll have to wait before you clean up. I reckon that the bowls and chopsticks on the table won't be touched even when it's dark. Qian Zhozha curled her lips. Since Hu Chunhua said so, what else could she say? Chapter 1236. Hu Chunhua replied unhappily, What do you mean by not having the energy to clean up? When you were eating just now, each of you was more energetic than the other. How can you say that you don't have the energy after eating so much? Feng Zhangxia and the other sisters-in-law were speechless. They felt that Hu Chunhua's words were completely illogical. Who was not having the energy? How could they not have the energy to eat? They were already starving, so of course they would eat quickly. Otherwise, how could they replenish their energy? Mother, it's not like that. Feng Zhangxia replied weakly, as if she was afraid that Hu Chunhua would be angry. She looked at Hu Chunhua nervously. Then what is the reason? Hu Chunhua asked angrily. Mother. Then let's rest for a while. Rest for 2 hours. After we recover our energy, we can continue. Is that okay? Qian Zholi was really helpless and said to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua did not have any objections. Resting for 2 hours was fine. Just as Hu Chunhua was about to nod in agreement, Feng Zhangxia said, Mother, fourth sister-in-law is diligent. Let her work. I'll go to the room first. My Yang still has to be taken care of. Feng Zhangxia quickly pushed all the responsibility to Qian Zholi so that she could have some free time. Sometimes, one had to be lazy when one should be lazy. Otherwise, it would be her turn to suffer. Qian Zholi's mouth twitched, and a pair of resentful eyes fell on Feng Zhangxia. Her sister-in-law was really too much. Wasn't she bullying her? Qian Zholi was different from Liang Jinxiao. She was not too cowardly. She directly expressed her opinion to Feng Zhangxia. Sister-in-law, you can't do this, right? I have to clean up 7 or 8 tables of bowls and chopsticks by myself. How can I be so busy? I'll be exhausted to death. Then let Jing, work together. Feng Zhangxia replied and said confidently, Jing can't stay in her mother's home for long. She should help her family with more things now. She can't be lazy. Hearing Feng Zhangxia's words, Zhao Jing'er and Li Chuiying were displeased. Li Chuiying stood up and questioned Feng Zhangxia, Sister-in-law, what are you talking about? Why does my Jing have to help bathe? According to what you said, your Pan has been married here for so many years and hasn't done any work. She should do more work for you. Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and confronted Li Chuiying. I say, second sister-in-law, what you said is not right. My family's Pan marrying over is marrying beneath her status. Our old Zhao family should treat her better. Normally, she lives like the eldest daughter of her family. Why does she have to live like this when she comes to our hometown? Li Chuiying replied unhappily, Sister-in-law, you're really good at protecting your wife. Everyone says that if you marry a chicken, you have to follow the chicken. If you marry a dog, you have to follow the dog. Now that Pan has married into our old Zhao family, she has to follow our old Zhao family's rules. She can't just not work. Seeing that Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia were about to quarrel, Hu Chunhua felt a headache coming on. Okay, don't quarrel with me. The remaining bowls and chopsticks have to be washed one by one. Hu Chunhua raised her voice and said. Mother, Feng Zhangxia and Li Chuiying began to have objections. After all, neither of them wanted to wash the dishes. Qian Zhenhua, on the other hand, felt that it was fine as long as everyone worked together and she didn't suffer alone. Chapter 1237. Hu Chunhua's attitude was very firm, and her gloomy face made people feel uncomfortable. Feng Zhangxia and Li Chuiying were still unwilling, but they didn't dare to say anything. They just curled their lips and agreed. If they said anything more, Hu Chunhua would probably scold them. Mother, shall we take a break first? Okay, just do it later. Don't drag it out. You can't let me do it, Hu Chunhua said before entering the house. Feng Zhangxia's sisters-in-law stood in the yard and looked at the tableware on the big tables. They suddenly felt a headache. Oh my God, Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Baoshan, and Hu Chunhua were the ones who benefited from this banquet. After all, Zhao Xinhui was Zhao Baoshan and Feng Zhangxia's daughter. If Zhao Xinhui married well, they would be respected. The money that young Master Meng gave to Zhao Xinhui was all in the hands of Zhao Xinhui, and the other branches didn't get it. However, now that Zhao Xinhui was getting married, the wedding banquet was basically arranged by the sisters-in-law. They were so busy that they were exhausted. Naturally, they felt uncomfortable. Li Chuiying's resentful eyes fell on Feng Zhangxia. Her hands were already like this. Originally, if Feng Zhangxia didn't say anything, she probably wouldn't have to wash the tableware. Now, because of Feng Zhangxia, her hands had to continue to be tortured. Li Chuiying felt that since she married into the family, the first branch often bullied them. When there was work, it was the other sisters-in-law who did more work. Most of the benefits were taken by the first branch. Not to mention other things, the other children in old Zhao's family didn't go to school. Only Zhao Tianlong went to school. Studying was expensive. Old Zhao's family had more than 10 mu of land, yet they still lived in poverty. Because of Zhao Tianlong's studies, most of the money was spent on him. If it weren't for Zhao Baoshan and Hu Chunhua suppressing them, it was impossible for the other branches to not express their thoughts. In Li Chuiying's heart, she suddenly had the idea of splitting up. It was hard to say if Zhao Tianlong would be able to pass the exam. However, her Jing was going to marry Jing Qian. No matter how bad her results were in the future, her daughter would be able to send some money to the family. If her Jing worked hard and got pregnant with a boy, Jing Qian would give her 100 or 200 taels of silver. After they separated from the family, the money would naturally fall into her pocket. It would have nothing to do with old Zhao's family. After thinking about it for a while, Li Chuiying felt more and more that it was best to split up. After they split from the family, they wouldn't have to stay with the main branch and be bullied. She only needed to take care of her family, and the work would be much easier. However, the only problem now was how to split from the family. With Zhao Baoshan and Hu Chunhua around, they definitely wouldn't agree. However, she couldn't make too much of a fuss. If she provoked them too much, the second branch would be directly separated from the family. They probably wouldn't be able to get any land or other things. At that time, they would be at a disadvantage. She had to think of a way to make Hu Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan willingly split from the family. As Li Chuiying thought about it, Shen Pan also had the same idea. By the time her sisters-in-law finished washing the dishes, they were already exhausted. Shen Pan saw that her hands had been soaked in water for too long. They were wrinkled and looked very ugly. Chapter 1238. Feng Zhangxia approached Shen Pan, and said, "What's wrong, Pan, What do you want to talk to your mother about? Are you tired from all the work today?" Shen Pan shook her head and said to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother, it's not about that. Let's go inside and I'll tell you slowly." Feng Zhangxia felt that Shen Pan was being mysterious. Although she was curious, she still nodded and said, "Okay, let's go inside." N. After the two of them walked into the room, Shen Pan told Feng Zhangxia about her idea of splitting up. After Feng Zhangxia heard this, she sighed and said, "Little Pan, Mother knows that you have been wronged, but it is not easy to separate from the family. Otherwise, Mother would have wanted to separate from the family as early as possible, so that we don't have to suffer together. Let's wait and see if we can find something. That way, we'll have an excuse. Otherwise, it'll be difficult to split up." Hearing Feng Zhangxia's helplessness, Shen Pan could only nod and say, "Okay. But Mother, if there's a chance, even if it's a small matter, we'd better make it big. If we wait for too long and still don't have a chance, we can only create our own opportunities. Otherwise, if it drags on, who knows how long it'll take." After listening to Shen Pan's words, Feng Zhangxia felt that it was reasonable, so she nodded and said, "Okay, Pan, don't worry. If there's a chance, I'll definitely split up. Otherwise, your second aunt will use you as an excuse. Sigh, seeing you like this makes my heart ache. If your mother knew that you were living like this in our old Zhao family, she would definitely say that I didn't take good care of you as your mother-in-law." Seeing the concern in Feng Zhangxia's eyes, Shen Pan held Feng Zhangxia's hand and said, "Mother, this has nothing to do with you. You're already very good to me." Feng Zhangxia sighed, Pan, girl, you'll have to suffer for a while. After a while, you'll be fine. When we split up, Mother will take care of all these chores. I'll definitely not let you touch them." Shen Pan was moved and said, "Mother, you're so good. Silly girl, you're my wife. How can I not be good to you?" N. Shen Pan nodded heavily. She was glad that Feng Zhangxia wasn't like Li Chuiying or Hu Chunhua. Otherwise, no matter how much she liked Zhao Tianlong, she wouldn't be able to make her work every day. She was afraid that she wouldn't be able to endure this kind of life. It was already summer, and in another 2 to 3 months, it would be autumn. When that time comes, the autumn examinations would begin. After the autumn examinations, Zhao Tianlong would know if he would be able to become a high scholar. At that time, his life would be much better. Now, he was to she to you, Liang to her. After all, he had promised Zhao Ping. Liang Jinxiao knew that it wouldn't be good to go back on his word now. Thinking about Zhao Ping's life and her husband's family, if Zhao Ping could earn money by setting up a stall, her life and her husband's family would definitely be much better. Liang Jinxiao didn't have much money left. He took out 2 taels of silver and gave it to Zhao Ping. Together with Zhao Ping's dowry, they definitely had enough money to set up a stall. Zhao Ping, who received the money, was satisfied. Chapter 1239. After thinking for a while, Zhao Ping said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I'm going to deliver water to father and the others now." Liang Jinxiao said, "Ping, it's still early. You can deliver it to them later." If it were on a normal day, Zhao Ping would not be so attentive. In the past, when he asked her to deliver water, Zhao Ping was very dawdling and would only do it after being urged for a long time. But now, there was no need for him to urge her at all. She actually offered to deliver water herself. Liang Jinxiao comforted himself in his heart. Did Zhao Ping grow up and become more sensible after marrying him? "Ping, girl, why don't you go back early first? Mother will deliver the water myself." Zhao Ping did not really want to deliver water. She just wanted to carry out her plan. Mother, let me deliver it. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry to go back. It's fine. Liang Jinxiao sighed and said to Zhao Ping, okay then, Ping, girl, wait a while more before you deliver the water. Got it, mother. Then I'll go to Xiaofeng's house to play for a while. When I come back, I'll deliver water to father and the others. Liang Jinxiao nodded heavily, okay, Ping, girl, then you go and play first. Liang Jinxiao knew that Zhao Ping, and Ma Xiaofeng were very close. Zhao Ping, rarely came back to her parents' house, so there was no harm in walking around. This child probably would not tell her parents about her grievances. Instead, she would talk to Ma Xiaofeng. People were like this. When they were upset, they would feel much better if they found someone to complain to. Okay, mother, then I'll go now. Okay. Zhao Ping, skipped out of the house excitedly and ran towards Ma Xiaofeng's house. When Zhao Ping, skipped over, Qian Chuanxiu was also at home. Because the relationship with old Zhao's family was not very good and they were basically in a deadlock, Qian Chuanxiu did not attend Zhao Xinhui's wedding this time and old Zhao's family held a wedding. According to her understanding of old Zhao's family, even if it was a banquet, there should not be anything special. It's not worth it to give away dozens of copper coins for nothing. Of course, the most important thing was that the relationship between Qian Chuanxiu and old Zhao's family. She did not want to have any contact with old Zhao's family. Otherwise, old Zhao's family would probably think that she was trying to be friendly with them. What made Qian Chuanxiu upset was that she heard from the villagers who attended the wedding banquet that old Zhao's banquet this time was still being cooked by Zhao Yun. The dishes at the banquet were surprisingly delicious. Spending dozens of copper coins was a big bargain for them. After hearing the villagers' words, Qian Chuanxiu was very upset in her heart. Why didn't she take advantage of such a free bargain? She was so stupid. The more she thought about it, the more upset Qian Chuanxiu felt. She thought about when she could make up for the loss she suffered. Qian Chuanxiu, who was in a fit of anger, was not very happy when she saw Zhao Ping, coming over. She said to Zhao Ping, in a strange tone, oh, Ping, girl, you came to visit your maiden home again? Before you got married, you played very well with my Xiaofeng. Now, you still like to come to my home and play with Xiaofeng. Zhao Ping did not understand the other meaning in Qian Chuanxiu's words. After hearing Qian Chuanxiu's words, Zhao Ping said with a smile, Auntie, Xiaofeng is my good friend. I came back to my maternal home this time just to play with Xiaofeng for a while. Chapter 1240. Zhao Ping, continued to say with a smile, Auntie, Xiaofeng and I are indeed as close as sisters. She's even better than my own sister. Qian Chuanxiu rolled her eyes at Zhao Ping, This girl was really a bit stupid. She didn't have any awareness when others were talking. Couldn't she hear the meaning in her words? Facing Zhao Ping, Qian Chuanxiu didn't hold back and said, I say, Ping, girl, you and my Xiaofeng were already married before. Now that you're married, it's best if you don't interact with her. After all, my Xiaofeng is going to get married later. If you pass on something bad to her, how can my Xiaofeng get married? Zhao Ping, frowned. She didn't know what Qian Chuanxiu meant. Why couldn't she have any contact with Ma Xiaofeng after she got married? Was there something wrong with getting married? Zhao Ping couldn't understand Qian Chuanxiu's words. At this time, Zhao Ping came out of the house. After seeing Zhao Ping, and hearing Qian Chuanxiu's words, she said to Qian Chuanxiu, Mother, don't say that to Sister Ping, What's wrong with us playing together? In the whole village, only Sister Ping, treats me the best. Otherwise, no one would play with me. Hearing Ma Xiaofeng's defense, Zhao Ping, was very touched. She thought that Ma Xiaofeng was so nice. When Qian Chuanxiu was talking about her, she still stood up and defended her friend. Zhao Ping naturally didn't know Ma Xiaofeng's thoughts. In the past, she was close to Zhao Ping, because the other girls in the village didn't like to talk to her. Only Zhao Ping was willing to play with her. She felt a sense of accomplishment. At the same time, Zhao Ping was easier to fool. Now that she was with Zhao Ping, she wanted to use Zhao Ping. She not only wanted to marry Zhao Tianan, but also wanted to do business with Zhao Ping to make money. Hearing that, Qian Chuanxiu pulled the corner of her mouth with disdain. I say, Xiao Feng, if she's really good to you, why didn't she send you any of the leftover dishes from the banquet at home? Who doesn't know how to do it? You have to actually do it. Zhao Ping looked a little embarrassed and explained to Qian Chuanxiu. I don't even have time to eat the leftovers. Qian Chuanxiu pursed her lips. Just as she was about to say something, Ma Xiaofeng stopped her. Mom, don't scold Ping. Qian Chuanxiu frowned with displeasure. Of course, she knew that. She just felt uncomfortable in her heart. She didn't know how to eat the leftovers from old Zhao's family. After listening to the descriptions of those who had eaten at the banquet today, those dishes were really delicious. Even if she went to a restaurant on the street, she might not be able to eat more delicious dishes. Especially some meat dishes. The more Liang Jinxiao thought about it, the more hungry she felt. She desperately wanted to eat. No. She had to try it. She couldn't turn to Zhao Ping. The third branch had nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Hu Chunhua was so stingy. It would be strange if she gave Zhao Ping leftovers. Qian Chuanxiu thought for a while. There was one person she could turn to. That was the second son of old Zhao's family, Zhao Wenshui. Chapter 1241. When she thought of Zhao Wenshui, she became angry. That stinky man. It was fine if he did her, but he was of no use at all. He didn't help her at all. Previously, Zhao Wenshui had promised her, but he didn't fulfill any of his promises. Qian Chuanxiu naturally felt uncomfortable when she didn't get any benefits from it. If she could extort some benefits from Zhao Wenshui now, she could at least earn some. After thinking about it, Qian Chuanxiu decided to talk to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui was a man. If he held a banquet at home, it should be fine for him to make some food. Qian Chuanxiu waved her hand and replied, Okay, I got it. Mother, I'll talk to Sister Ping, then. You go to the room and rest first. Ma Xiaofeng said. Okay. Qian Chuanxiu replied and then went into the room. Chapter 1241. What happened after Qian Chuanxiu went into the room? Zhao Ping went up to Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng took Zhao Ping's hand intimately and said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, why did you come to see me today? Zhao Ping smiled and winked at Ma Xiaofeng ambiguously. Hee, Xiaofeng, it's about the thing I told you last time. Although Zhao Ping didn't say it explicitly, Zhao Ping had already guessed what Zhao Ping was talking about from Zhao Ping's ambiguous wink. She couldn't help blushing. Sister Ping, so fast? Zhao Ping smiled. It's not fast at all. Since there's a chance now, I have to seize it. Otherwise, if I don't have time to come over later, what should I do? Ma Xiaofeng nodded shyly and said, Well. Sure, Sister Ping, I'll listen to you. Great, don't worry, Xiaofeng. You only need to go to the back of the mountain. I'll handle the rest. Thank you, Sister Ping, Ma Xiaofeng looked at Zhao Ping, with gratitude. Zhao Ping, also held Ma Xiaofeng's hand, and said to Ma Xiaofeng intimately, Xiaofeng, you're too polite to me. It's not a big deal. After all, we're very close friends. If you can become my sister-in-law, it's my family's good fortune. Ma Xiaofeng nodded again. After telling Ma Xiaofeng what to do, Zhao Ping happily went back. She had a smile on her face all the way back, imagining that her plan would succeed. When they were back, it was almost time. Liang Jinxiao packed the water casually, and went to deliver water to the men who were going to work. Before Zhao Ping got married, she also prepared aphrodisiac in addition to burning incense. The aphrodisiac was the kind that was put in water and mixed together. Men or women would have a reaction after drinking it. Zhao Ping especially put it by her side this time. When she delivered water to Zhao Tianan, she would give it to Zhao Tianan. Of course, the aphrodisiac wouldn't take effect right away. It would take a while. When Zhao Ping tricked Zhao Tianan to go to the back of the mountain, the aphrodisiac would take effect. When he saw Ma Xiaofeng, he naturally couldn't control himself. After preparing the tea, Zhao Ping happily walked to the foot of the mountain. When she arrived at the foundation, the sun was shining brightly, and several men were working hard with sweat all over their backs. Chapter 1242. Zhao Tianan paused and replied to Zhao Ping, "Sister, put the water down. I'm not thirsty." Zhao Tianan meant that he was not going to drink. If Zhao Tianan refused to drink, Zhao Ping would not be able to achieve her goal. Zhao Ping hurriedly persuaded him, "Tianan, you've been working for so long. Even if you're not thirsty, you should at least drink a little, right? Look at how much sweat you've been sweating." Zhao Ping said and persuaded Zhao Tianan. When the other men heard this, they walked over to Zhao Ping and said to Zhao Ping, "Ping, if Tianan doesn't want to drink, forget it. We'll drink it. We're really thirsty now. Thank goodness you brought the water over." Zhao Wenshui smiled and said, "It's not easy for Ping to come back. Now that she's back, she actually brought us water. That's right, Ping has become much more diligent this time. Come, let's drink together." Seeing the men coming over, Zhao Ping did not want to let them drink. She wanted to let Zhao Tianan drink first. Zhao Ping refused with a cold face, "No, you can't drink first. Let Tianan drink first." The men looked at Zhao Ping in confusion. "Ping, what are you doing? Tianan isn't thirsty. It's fine if he doesn't want to drink, but we're thirsty. Why don't you give us water to drink?" "I just can't. I came here especially for Tianan, so let him drink first," Zhao Ping said stubbornly. The men thought that Zhao Ping must be crazy. Her words and actions were so strange. Zhao Tianan heard Zhao Ping's words and could not help but frown. Zhao Tianan also did not know why Zhao Ping said that. When did his sister treat him so well? Of course, Zhao Tianan did not know that Zhao Ping did this because she was afraid that the men would drink all the water. She specially prepared a cup for Zhao Tianan. This cup could not be drunk by other men. After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Zhao Tianan had to come over and say to Zhao Ping, "Sister, pour me a cup. I'll drink." Okay. Zhao Ping responded happily and hurriedly poured a cup for Zhao Tianan. After seeing Zhao Tianan drink it, she was relieved. "Sister, it's finished." After Zhao Tianan drank it, he handed the cup to Zhao Ping. That's good. Zhao Ping responded with a smile. Looking at Zhao Ping, Zhao Tianan was puzzled. She just drank some water. Why was Zhao Ping so big? "Sister, then I'll continue to work," Zhao Tianan said. "Okay, then you go." Zhao Ping put down the water and then left. After 10 minutes, Zhao Ping turned back and said to Zhao Tianan, "Tianan, come here." Seeing Zhao Ping's anxious look, Zhao Tianan hurried to Zhao Ping and said to Zhao Ping, "Sister, what's wrong?" "Tianan, mother fell down at the back of the mountain and sprained her ankle. Hurry up and carry mother back." Chapter 1243. Okay. Hurry up, Zhao Ping urged him. "Okay." Zhao Tianan gratefully stopped what he was doing and ran towards the back of the mountain. He didn't think too much and didn't realize that Zhao Ping was following him. Seeing Zhao Tianan running out in a hurry, Zhao Ping was relieved. She hoped that everything would go smoothly and no accidents would happen. Of course, she couldn't go with Zhao Ping. After all, she would be too much of a hindrance and Ma Xiaofeng would be too shy to let go. Zhao Tianan ran towards the back of the mountain. When he was about to reach the back of the mountain, he ran into Mu Hin, who was picking wild vegetables. Seeing Zhao Tianan in a hurry, Mu Hin went forward and asked with concern, "Tianan, what's wrong with you? Did something happen?" Zhao Tianan stopped in front of Mu Hin and said to Mu Hin, "My mother accidentally fell down at the back of the mountain. I'm going to find my mother now and carry her back." Hearing Zhao Tianan say that Liang Jinxiao fell down, Mu Hin also showed a worried look. "Really? Then I'll go with you." After all, one more person meant one more helper. When the time came, it would be relatively easier to support Liang Jinxiao. "No, it's not necessary. Won't it be too much trouble for you?" "It's fine. I'm fine. I'll run for a while more." "Okay then. Let's go." "Okay." The two of them suddenly quickened their pace a lot. Halfway through, Zhao Tianan suddenly felt dizzy. He stopped and rubbed his forehead. Mu Hin asked, "Tianan, what's wrong with you?" "Nothing. I just feel a little dizzy in my head. My chest feels tight, and I feel a little hot." After Zhao Tianan finished speaking, he felt his body becoming more and more uncomfortable. "My body was getting hotter and hotter, and I couldn't help but want to take off my clothes." Mu Hin glanced at Zhao Tianan and saw that Zhao Tianan's face was bright red, as if he had a fever. "Tianan, are you sick?" Mu Hin asked worriedly. If he wasn't sick, he shouldn't be like this, right? However, Zhao Tianan was clearly fine just now, and his expression was normal. How did Zhao Tianan's face become so red in the blink of an eye? "I don't think so," Zhao Tianan replied. "Everything was fine just now, but they suddenly became like this." "Let me touch it." Mu Hin reached out his hand, wanting to touch Zhao Tianan's forehead to feel the temperature of Zhao Tianan's forehead. As Zhao Tianan's cold hand fell on Zhao Tianan's forehead, Zhao Tianan felt his mouth becoming more dry. He couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva into his stomach. After touching Zhao Tianan's forehead, Mu Hin sighed and said, "Tianan, your forehead is so hot." When Mu Hin pulled his hand back, Zhao Tianan couldn't help but hold Mu Hin's hand and put Mu Hin's hand in his palm. Mu Hin. Zhao Tianan's mind was filled with many dirty thoughts, and his body became more and more out of control. He didn't know what was wrong with him. Chapter 1244. Although Mu Hin liked Zhao Tianan, she had never expressed her feelings to Zhao Tianan. She even kept a proper distance from Zhao Tianan. Zhao Tianan suddenly treated her like this. Did it mean that Zhao Tianan was actually interested in her? When a woman was faced with the passion of the man she liked, she more or less couldn't control herself. Zhao Tianan swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva. He didn't know what to say either. "Tianan." Mu Hin's face flushed. She wanted to pull her hand back from Zhao Tianan's, but found that her hand was tightly grasped by Zhao Tianan. She couldn't break free at all. "Tianan, what do you want to do?" Zhao Tianan also didn't know what he wanted to do, but the desire in his heart grew stronger. After a while, Zhao Tianan found that his consciousness was getting more and more out of control, and he began to take off his clothes. Mu Hin's mind suddenly went blank. Seeing Zhao Tianan take off his clothes, revealing his broad arms, she hurriedly asked, "Tianan, what are you doing?" Zhao Tianan didn't respond to Mu Hin. It wasn't that he didn't want to respond, but that he couldn't control himself at all. "Tianan, are you crazy?" Mu Hin closed her eyes. She didn't dare to look anymore, because Zhao Tianan had begun to take off his pants. Now Zhao Tianan looked like he was possessed. It was a little scary to look at. I'm not crazy, Zhao Tianan replied the moment his consciousness became clear. However, just as he recovered, his consciousness blurred again. Zhao Tianan pulled Mu Hin over and pulled her into his arms. Mu Hin screamed at Zhao Tianan's sudden action, because her body was now pressed against Zhao Tianan's naked body. You. Mu Xian didn't know what to say, but her mouth was covered by Zhao Tianan's. Zhao Tianan was just an instinctive physical reaction. Looking at Mu Hin's small red lips, he wanted to kiss them. But because it was the first time, Zhao Tianan's kiss was a little jerky. After tasting Mu Hin's little mouth, Zhao Tianan felt that it was soft and fragrant. He took a bite and wanted to continue eating. Zhao Tianan hugged and kissed Mu Hin, unwilling to let go. As for Mu Hin, who was in Zhao Tianan's arms, his mind had long gone blank. How could she have expected that Zhao Tianan would kiss her? Her nostrils were filled with Zhao Tianan's scent. This was the first time that she had done such an intimate act with a man. Mu Hin knew that under normal circumstances, only husband and wife would do such a thing. If a man and a woman did it and were found out, there would definitely be a lot of gossip. After tasting the sweetness, Zhao Tianan found that he was getting more and more out of control. He reached out and touched Mu Hin's body. Wherever Zhao Tianan's hand touched, Mu Hin's body couldn't help but tremble. As if she knew what Zhao Tianan was going to do next, Mu Hin hurriedly pushed him away and broke away from Zhao Tianan's kiss. She said to Zhao Tianan, "No, Tianan. We can't do this." However, Mu Hin found that what she was doing was completely useless. Zhao Tianan continued to hold her tightly and even pushed her into the grass. Lying on the soft grass cushion, she didn't feel very uncomfortable. Chapter 1245. Otherwise, she didn't know what others would say about her if she was seen. She reckoned that there would be some rumors, and the spittle would drown her. Tianan. What do you want to do? Don't be impulsive. Mu Hin whispered in Zhao Tianan's ear. Being pressed down by Zhao Tianan, Mu Hin felt that her heart was about to jump out. Zhao Tianan didn't seem to hear Mu Hin's words, and his hands continued to move. After taking off his clothes, Zhao Tianan began to undress Mu Hin. Mu Hin wanted to refuse, but Zhao Tianan's strength was too strong. Mu Hin couldn't resist at all, and could only let Zhao Tianan do it. The two people's bodies were buried in the grass, and no one saw them. Otherwise, if they saw this scene, they would definitely blush and their hearts would beat faster. After a while, Zhao Tianan recovered his divine sense after venting, and realized what he had done to Mu Hin. Zhao Tianan was suddenly at a loss. However, since he had touched a girl, he must be responsible for her. He couldn't just let it go. Zhao Tianan hugged Mu Hin. Mu Hin. I will be responsible for you. Facing the two people's naked bodies, Zhao Tianan began to help them put on their clothes. Mu Hin closed her eyes. She didn't dare to look at Zhao Tianan. At this moment, she just wanted to find a hole to hide in. The pain on her body was still there, which let her know that everything that had happened just now was a reality, and not a dream or fantasy. Really? Mu Hin asked weakly. We have already done it as husband and wife. I will definitely tell my mother to ask for your hand in marriage. Mu Hin, don't worry. I'm not an irresponsible person. Zhao Tianan assured Mu Hin. Although he didn't know why he had such an inexplicable impulse, Zhao Tianan knew his responsibility as a man. If he married Mu Hin in the future, Zhao Tianan didn't have many opinions in his heart. He still had a good impression of Mu Hin. Mu Hin replied timidly. She did not know what to say. On the other side, Ma Xiaofeng waited for Zhao Tianan for a long time, but Zhao Tianan didn't come. She was very anxious and wondered if Zhao Ping's plan had failed. Otherwise, there was no reason. Just as Ma Xiaofeng was looking around anxiously, Lu Sen came from not far away. Originally, he was just wandering around and wandered to the back of the mountain where there was no one. He didn't expect to meet Ma Xiaofeng, this little beauty. He glanced at Ma Xiaofeng's slim figure and charming face. He couldn't help but want to touch it a few times. Lu San was a lot more well-behaved these days. After being reprimanded by Li Zheng, he behaved himself for a period of time. When he met the young women and girls in the village, he didn't do much. But the women at home were too ugly. He really didn't want to touch them, so he restrained himself for a long time. Now, how could he bear it? When he saw Ma Xiaofeng, he somewhat couldn't control himself. He couldn't wait to pounce on Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng didn't notice that Lu San was approaching her quietly. She still stood in the same place and waited. Suddenly, a person pounced on her from behind and held her tightly in his arms. She was surrounded by his breath. Chapter 1246. After all, the drug in Zhao Tianan's body was taking effect at this moment, so he couldn't help but pounce on her. Tianan, Ma Xiaofeng said happily. Her voice was a little delicate, which made Lu San's heart itch. This little girl is really a stunner. After getting closer, he smelled the scent of Ma Xiaofeng's body. It was fragrant, a woman's body fragrance. He touched Ma Xiaofeng's body with his hand. It was soft and very comfortable. Just after Ma Xiaofeng turned her head and saw the person behind her, she saw Lu San's face and couldn't help screaming. Why not Zhao Tianan, but Lu San? Ma Xiaofeng's eyes showed a trace of fear. She recognized Lu San. After all, Lu San was very famous in the village. Many young wives and girls would avoid Lu San when they saw Lu San, for fear of being bullied by Lu San. If she fell into the hands of Lu San, she would only be defiled. Hee, little beauty, Lu San smiled wretchedly, revealing a row of big yellow teeth, and said to Ma Xiaofeng. Let me go, let me go. Ma Xiaofeng quickly struggled. While pushing Lu San away, she shouted, for fear of being taken advantage of by Lu San. Little beauty, let's play together. Why should I let you go? Lu San smiled wretchedly. You pervert, don't touch me. Let me go quickly, or don't blame me for being rude. Ma Xiaofeng threatened anxiously. However, Ma Xiaofeng's threat was not a threat at all in the eyes of Lu San. Oh, little beauty, look at you, why can't you let go? Let's just play, don't refuse. Lu San hugged Ma Xiaofeng tightly, not giving Ma Xiaofeng a chance to struggle. Ma Xiaofeng was very anxious. For a rascal like Lu San, it was useless to talk or hit. She had no chance to avoid Lu San at all. Because Lu San had bullied a lot of women and girls, his ability to bully women was first class. Soon, Ma Xiaofeng was touched by Lu San. Lu San quickly took off Ma Xiaofeng's clothes, and then pressed Ma Xiaofeng on the grass. No, little beauty, I can't control. I'm coming. With that, Lu San took out his treasures and began to do excessive things to Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng shouted at the top of her voice, but there was no one on the back of the mountain. There was no one to help her. The louder Ma Xiaofeng shouted, the more excited Lu San became. Little beauty, on the back of the mountain, no one will come to see you even if you shout at the top of your voice. It's better to be obedient to me. Bastard, pervert, let me go quickly, or I'll report you to Li Zheng. Then you'll suffer. Ma Xiaofeng scolded angrily. Report? Little beauty, do you think I'm afraid? I've done a lot of bad things in the village, and I'm still fine now. At most, I'll be reprimanded. You, little beauty, scream as hard as you can. If you attract people and they see us like this, tsk, let's see how you'll be able to show your face in the future. Lu San said with a smile. In fact, Lu San's words were also to scare Ma Xiaofeng. You're tuning in to the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.